Phoenix Down Radio is on the air. With your hosts, Klaus Nightbringer, Sarah Tomono, Seyo Mayo, and Luna Vox.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 11 of Phoenix Down Radio. I am Klaus Nightbringer. With me today, we have another full crew. Why don't you go ahead and say hi, everybody?
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hey, y'all.
So we've got Luna, we've got Sarah, and we've got Seyo. So, what about that whole producer live letter this morning, huh?
Oh, boy.
Oh boy.
I had to sleep.
How dare you?
I slept
Sorry.
too, don't feel bad.
Yay!
But fortunately, Seyo and Luna were able to stay up. Well, for most of it on Seyo's side, but Luna did a great job for us this morning, took a lot of good notes, and so she got a lot of good information for us that we're going to be talking about today. So we're going to be discussing the producer live letter, what's coming up in 3.2. We also have a little bit of show news and a little bit game and Final Fantasy news. And we are going to discuss the Q&A segment with Koji during our lore segment today. But for right now, let's go ahead and talk about the show.
Please look forward to it.
Please look forward to it. So, those of you who may or may not know, we do have a website, phoenixdownradio.com. I only linked it in the chat a little bit ago, but if you haven't taken a look, please do. I mean, we're working really hard to get a lot of news out there. We're trying to get, not just Final Fantasy 14 news out there, but Final Fantasy news in general, as well as community news for everybody that we deal with on a regular basis. So check it out, use it. We're trying to make it a one-stop shop. So make sure to give it a bookmark so you can keep up to date with everything going on. Now, we've gotten quite a few new follows today, and we always appreciate that. For those who may or may not know as well, we are doing contests for our Twitter and Twitch followers. As soon as we hit 100 Twitter followers, we are going to pick a random follower to get a custom commission drawn by Luna. She's been doing a lot of commissions lately since we've been doing some fundraising, but this is your chance to get one for just clicking a follow button on our Twitter account.
Oh, yeah. You guys have been keeping me busy, and I love you for it. So I want to give back to you guys.
Yep. So go, if you have not already, please go to our Twitter page. It's twitter.com/PHXDN radio and give us a follow. As of the beginning of the show, we were at 63 followers. So once we hit 100 is when we're going to go ahead and do that drawing. Now, I mentioned we're also doing a Twitch follower contest. So, like I said, we've been getting a bunch of new followers today, and that is awesome. Once we hit 200 Twitch followers, we are going to pick a random person to get a Mog Station minion code sent to them. And we have somebody blocking the screen. There we go.
It's never a show unless that happens, right?
Yeah, exactly. We are currently at 91 Twitch follows, so thank you so much. We appreciate it.
And we all love you too.
Chili, that was perfectly timed. That was absolutely perfectly timed. We really appreciate it when you guys like and follow us. It not only allows us to get that people like what we're doing, but it allows you guys to know when we go on next. So, click that button and then just click the little slider to be notified when we go live next. So, all right. So I touched on it just a little bit before, but like I said, if you look down in the lower left corner, you're going to see that Send Phoenix Down Radio to FanFest slider there. We are trying to raise a little bit of money so that we can all get together at FanFest and see everybody here and have a good time. Because we all love this game. We all want to, hang out in Vegas because Vegas, baby, right?
Yeah, right?
I've actually never been to Vegas. I'm kind of ashamed to admit that.
I haven't either, so don't worry. You're not
You guys are
alone.
going to love it.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it so much. That's why, I mean, we're really close, and because of people like Chili, donating $5. I mean, he's been doing that every freaking day, and we love him for it. But he's, and we've had a bunch of other people. They helped us when we did the hot pepper challenge a few weeks ago. Vox, have you recovered from that?
I think my stomach lining is back now. Finally.
Sarah, how long does it take for a stomach lining to regrow?
I mean, typically most of the cells within the body turn over within about a 2-week period, give or take.
I think we're good. So, we're trying to raise some money so we can do that, and it's all good. So we're gonna hopefully get to that $1,000 mark, and that way we should be fully covered and be able to, hang out and maybe even cover some of Sayre's and Seo's expenses as well, because everything that we get is gonna go for covering those expenses, and we thank you all for your support on that. Last thing we're going to talk about in show/community news is we got a little bit of updated information this weekend from Escalia regarding his charity stream coming up. When we initially reported it a couple of weeks ago, we had said that he was going to be doing it at 3 p.m. on the Final Encounter cast stream, but it turns out it's actually going to be at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on March 11th at Twitch TV/Limit Break Radio. So make sure to go check out Limit Break Radio. If you haven't followed them, do it. They have a pretty good show. I try and catch as much as I can, though I work Sundays now, so it's not as often that I can catch the live show. But they do put on a really good show. So check them out, and then you'll get notified on March 11th when Callie or Escalia, when he goes live with this stream. He's going to be playing Final Fantasy IX. And hopefully it's out on the PC by that point, because the PC port that on Steam is going to have the similar functions that Final Fantasy VII has, where you can speed up overworld play and skip a lot of the encounters.
Leveling.
Random battles.
The random encounters, yes. That's what I was trying to think of. I was having problems braining that moment, so...
Plus the backgrounds look really, really good as well.
Yeah, it's supposed to be really nice. Proceeds for his charity stream will be benefiting Transgender Michigan. So again, stop by. He's going to be playing until he's done. It's a all the way through stream. So take a look at it. All right, so that kind of covers show and community news. Now let's kind of get into some Final Fantasy news. Ever dreamt of working for Square Enix? Well, they're hiring. I guess they lost somebody from the community team, so...
Yeah, Colby left a few weeks ago, I think. He moved up to Seattle.
Something like that. Did he go to work for Nintendo? Or did one of the other team Square people work for Nintendo? I don't remember. But anyway, they moved on, so that leaves a spot open. So you can go to the... I believe there's a post on the Lodestone that talks all about it. I'm sure it's been out there for a couple weeks. I don't know if they're still hiring on that or not, but we figured we'd at least mention if it was always your dream to work for Square Enix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything on that end yet, so we figured we may as well put the feelers out as well.
I didn't apply for it because I really don't feel like moving to the West Coast, but
Yeah, we don't want you to move.
I don't speak a lick of Japanese, otherwise you might have lost me to that.
Yeah, I'm not going back to Southern California.
Well, you don't have to speak Japanese. It's just
it's
preferred.
just preferred. Yes, exactly.
You know that like half the applicants are going to speak it fluently.
Oh, of course. Chile, they should totally hire you, shouldn't they? And you
Yeah.
can move, you can move over here instead of being over in rainy old England or something like that.
Come on now, if it's a plus on a job application, you know it's a requirement.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those things. It's gonna be one of those tiebreakers. It's gonna be way up there in power. So yeah, that's out there. The Starlight comic winners, those were announced about a week or so ago. There was 117 total winners, I believe. 20 grand prize winners who got not only their choice between the scarf and a bunch of earrings, they also got some noble barding for their chocobos. And the rest of the people got their choice between the Scarf of Wondrous Wit, the Bluebird earrings, Aramon, and Mandragora chokers. So you can go out to the Square Enix official forums and you can take a look at all the different entries. And there were some of them that were actually kind of funny.
The winning ones was really freaking funny.
I didn't read too many of them, but they looked kind of cute. So, anybody else take a look at them?
Yeah, I did. We had a few winners from Hyperion.
Yeah, I
So-
heard that Jailbait Teen actually won something, didn't
Yep.
they?
Yep.
I remember another podcast was talking about that. I was listening to them today, and they had mentioned that they saw the name Jailbait Teen, and I was like, I know that person.
I was just talking to them the other day, actually.
I think everybody does.
Yeah, if you're on Hyperion, you know who Jailbait Teen is. They're actually kind of fun to game with. So
Yeah,
I'm
they
surprised
are.
that they didn't get made to change their name though.
Right? Oh my gosh.
They're that close to being inappropriate.
That
Ish.
close.
Yeah, we'll let it go.
They're a little bit over
I
the
don't
line,
care, but I'm surprised that some of the other people haven't complained enough. But anyway, enough of that. That's just it was just still kind of funny thing. They updated the Final Fantasy XIV fan kit to include some artwork featuring Ishtola as she appears in the city of Final Fantasy. Now, did you guys get a chance to take a look at that?
I did, and I
did.
got it downloaded.
That is some pretty good artwork. I'm kind of sad that we're not really going to get to see much of that because that's mostly over in Japan, isn't it?
We will. If we don't get a release over here, that'd be a
Because I thought this
travesty.
was an arcade game that they were doing this for.
Yeah, this one is an arcade release. I mean, it's possible that they do another. I don't remember how well did the second Dissidia game sell, anyways.
Well, it was tied to
certainly
the PSP, wasn't it?
I was gonna say
Right.
it was on PSP, so does it really matter?
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, Sony hasn't had the greatest luck with their handheld consoles, but because they're not doing much with the Vita anymore. So, and we know how much the PSP went. So,
No, I've heard rumors of a PS4 port later this year, but I cannot confirm or deny those rumors.
that would be interesting if we could get it. I mean, because then I might actually be able to play it. So, I mean, look forward to that, I guess, huh?
Hopefully.
And it's getting to be that time of year. Next week starts the Valentine's Day event. Now,
Ardor and affection.
yes, Sarah, you want to go ahead and read that, Sarah?
Oh, sure. So, where we are. So, ardor and affection, words of that noble Ishgardian house Valentione, who sows the seeds of amore throughout the realm. Their arrival can only mean the season of love is upon us once again, and the return of Valentione's Day. Word has it that Lady Lisette has come with an entourage of fortune tellers, who will lay bare the fates of Eorzea's lovers. Adventurers who would divine the truth of their love are encouraged to seek her out. And that'll be starting up in about 2 days, and it'll be running until the 15th.
So, have you guys checked out the gear we get for it this time?
Yes, I have.
Who else is slightly disappointed?
I'm not. I want that damn bed and the couch.
I'm talking about that hat.
Oh yeah, the hat can go blow itself, but
Well, I mean, so in previous years there was a choker, I believe. So it seems like they're adding matching earrings to that now.
That's true.
But yeah, given that they already had that full Chef of Love set, I'll be honest, I really would prefer it if I could wear the male one. That at least looks reasonably dignified. I'm really not in for the whole maid fantasy here. But given that they already had that full outfit, I'm not really sure what more they would have added to it.
Well, I mean, in years past with the different events, they've actually redesigned the award and things like that. So, I mean, that's always a possibility. But, well, I'm just hoping that instead of, I just hope that the event is better than the Heaven's Turn event.
Clearly, what they need to do is prepare little angel wings, so you can have Lalafels running around in their underwear with angel wings on their back being
God.
Cupids.
oh
I think we need to institute that mute Sarah button.
Yeah.
Okay, that was my sarcasm.
Just expressing himself.
I know.
That was my sarcastic voice. I think that's a terrible idea. Please, no Lalafell Cupids.
Actually, if they put it in the game that somebody's going to do it.
I want these.
You
Lalafell
know
Cupids.
this.
Well, I mean,
If
given
I-
that this would essentially be shirtless with angel wings, I imagine that's going to be put to even worse uses.
Papa Woody in the chat says, I wonder if that bed's going to come with a 25-cent bed shaker.
It looks like it.
Magic fingers.
Just might.
Luna,
I
what's
feel
going on
kinda
over
skeeved.
there?
I feel kind of skeeved out just looking at it.
Oh, boy. Now it needs to spin around, and you need to have a mirror on the ceiling. And
Though that,
Oh, guys, don't worry. We'll talk about things that spin around coming on. Don't worry about that.
though the description of the bed is kind of great, given what it implies about Limsalominsa.
oh, boy, I didn't read the description. You got to
A
read it
plush,
to us.
heart-shaped bed, far more sophisticated than those found on Limsalominsa's pleasure barges.
What?
Oh my! It is
Oh
diable
my.
too. So
So yes, we have established that Limsalominsa has pleasure barges, whatever that means.
Whatever
What's
that
ship in Limsa
means,
called?
indeed.
Is that pleasure barge?
Moving
I'm
on.
really sad that the couch isn't diable though.
The couch isn't?
Nope,
No.
the bed is, but the couch is not.
That's weird. Well, maybe they're
I
going to fix
know.
that, so.
I don't even know how you tell.
Oh man, who
You
wants
hover
to?
your mouse cursor over it, and if there's a little circle in the corner, it's diable. If there's not,
Yep.
Okay, yeah,
it's
I
not.
see it now.
So
see it
I
now.
just want to point out, this means that you can be romancing on metallic green sheets.
Oh my god! Why not just go for the gold?
Oh my god. That is too
Only
funny.
you, sir. Only you.
Hey, they made it possible. I'm just pointing it out.
All
I
right.
wonder if this is a two-person bed.
Well,
There's three pillows. There's three pillows.
The bed needs to be
Three-person bed?
dyed
A
to
three-
clean it.
Oh.
Woody. Bad Woody. Oh.
Yeah, just don't dye it black. All the stains will show.
Well, we don't have black light technology in Eorzea yet, so thank God. I would hate to use that in the in-room in
You don't know,
Limsa.
the Aetherites could have a thing going on.
Missing member. You don't want to use it at the missing
Rowena
member.
might get on it and
Or
He's
the
got this
drowning
back-
wench.
Okay, I
Special
think
tombstone.
it's time to move on.
Yeah.
As much fun as that is.
Uh,
Final Fantasy Explorers is now out in North America and actually now in Europe. It was released January 26th to North America and 2 days later over in Europe. So for those who aren't familiar, it is not your standard Final Fantasy game. It's a more quest-driven game similar to Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles or the Monster Hunter series. But you can play as legendary Final Fantasy heroes or as one of many monsters that you can capture in the game. So, I don't personally have a 3DS, but I have a bunch of friends who do. Luna is one of them. Luna, are you going to be getting this?
I thought about getting it, and it's not on my top priority, but I'd be interested if I got it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd play through it just to have the
Yeah.
experience.
I'm probably going to be getting it myself. I already love the Monster Hunter series, so this is going to be, hey, Monster Hunter, only this time going to recognize some of the bows. I guess I could try
AKA
using weapons other than bows sometimes.
so we're
So, Sarah, you're gonna play with me, right? When I do
Sure.
get it, right?
got to throw those
Yes,
friend
yeah.
codes out there. I know that Jordan or Nicknar out in the chat has it. He's got a small goblin army, being 2.
Oh dear.
But Biff isn't impressed. But you know what? Let's see what everybody in the out in the community says. So I've heard good things about it. Like I said, I just don't have a 3DS, so I'll have to rely
I've
on
heard
you
mixed
guys.
things about it myself. If you guys get it, I'll get it.
Like
Peer pressure.
I said,
Always ends well.
yeah, it's not going to be coming out on Vita, so I won't be getting it. So
Well, guys, peer pressure is how Klaus became a Lalafell. So
no, $100 is how Klaus became a Lalafell.
that's what we
Huh.
call special peer pressure.
So you're that cheap.
Monetize peer pressure.
Yeah, monetizing the peer pressure. Oh, speaking of the monetizing the peer pressure, my month is up as a Lalafell. So anybody who wants to pick what I change to next, the next $100 donation is going to get that opportunity to pick what I go to next.
You get to customize a Klaus. for
Customize your
$100.
own Klaus. Not that. We're not going $500. I'm not that expensive.
I said $100.
Oh, I thought you said $500.
For $500, you get to customize every single one of us.
Wait, what?
What? See, you're $200, Sarah.
I'm not throwing my dignity on the line. Thank you very much.
I don't know how I feel about this.
See, Luna is free
Hey, I'm
because
not that
she
cheap.
customizes herself,
Yeah, you would have done it anyways.
and so that would
if
mean
someone
that
else someone has to pay me in order to customize me. I can customize myself for free. I'm trying to figure out how this works.
so for one of
Customize started meaning something else in my head halfway through that.
for one of Chili's $5 donations, you can pick what Luna
Oh my God.
transforms to next.
I'm not that cheap.
Oh.
Fantasia is worth more than that.
Okay,
Even.
plus the price of a Fantasia.
Oh
Okay.
my God, Cloud.
Okay. Okay. Anyway.
I told you I was going to be this for a month. I have to stay this for a month.
Yeah, that's not gonna
And no
happen.
one's paying. Shut up.
That's not gonna happen.
Shut up.
I'll give her a week.
Right?
I need support. Not.
The Final Fantasy 15 active time report is actually going live in about an hour, a little more than that. So depending on how long we go tonight, we will be switching over to hosting that. Game director Tabata and marketing director Ofuji will showcase new battle footage and magic scenes, as well as update us on the upcoming March 2016 event, where Essie is rumored to announce the official release date. Ooh.
Cool story, bro. Needs more dragon.
How long have we been waiting for this, though? Seriously?
Dude.
Things have been in development for like 10 years.
Or damn close. Yeah, this is supposed to have been 13 verses. And 13 came out back in 06.
Pro road trip.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
road trip.
I am really looking forward to this game. I already have it on pre-order. I've had it on pre-order since like 2014, okay?
Oh my God.
And I'm not kidding on that either. But I appreciate that they're trying to make it right, but for crying out loud, just give us the game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no more, guys. Come on, he's worse than Kojima with that stuff.
Mhm.
No,
Yeah.
We've had 2 Metal Gear games in between when this was announced.
That's
that's
exactly my point.
That's part of Kojima's long troll.
All right, so
I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
well, now we're gonna get into the meat of game news. This is what everyone's been waiting for. We are going to be talking now about the producer live letter from this morning. The name of the expansion is Gears of Change.
The Gears of Change.
The Gears of Change. I'm sorry. Forgive
how
me.
dare you?
Release date of February 23rd. So, right when everybody was kind of thinking, I was hoping it was going to be right after that Wolves Den tournament that they have on, what is it, Valentine's Day? But the week after.
Yeah.
It'd be the week after. Luna.
Give everyone a time to recover from whatever they did for Valentine's Day.
You mean
We
nothing?
won't judge. Okay, I'll maybe judge you for that.
All right. Luna, since you were the one who took all these wonderful notes, why don't you go ahead and start us off?
All right. Well, how they opened it up was they had Yoshi P in the training courses, I would assume what it was, on his black mage attacking the training dummy. It looks like to me that's either in the hinterlands or the forelands due to the scenery around it. It was very mountainish, very woodsy. So it looked like the hinterlands or the forelands. It was kind of humorous because he kept on screwing up his rotation, and every single time it would happen, everyone would start freaking out.
But he still beat it.
The pressure was on.
Yes. So
Was he in God mode or something at that point?
no, not God mode, just typical black mage boomy boom.
I'd read some conflicting accounts that some of them said that he was on the hardest difficulty, yet he screwed up his rotation and still beat it.
Maybe, but you do have 3 minutes to beat it, so
Yeah.
it
The
does give
impression
you
I got
some leeway.
The impression I got was that it's not you must have absolute perfection, but more, hey, you need to be able to perform at this level. So even if you're not being absolutely perfect, as long as you're performing at the necessary level, you'd be okay.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I know it's not requiring 100% DPS. I think most of the times when they were talking about how they tuned the difficulty of these raids, they were looking at around 80 to 85% of theoretical max for a class. So maybe they did something similar with these, or maybe they toned that down a bit yet too. So who knows?
Yeah. If you didn't defeat it in 3 minutes, apparently you explode.
You gobby boom, as you put.
You go gobby boom, as I put it.
Gobby boom.
And
Boom gabba doom.
I can see. Sarah, remember the last time you did that? You crashed the server. Don't do
Only
that.
for a little bit.
Please don't. We do have a show to finish. Come on.
Right?
Eh,
All right.
we can have our show from the void. It'll be great.
The challenge will depend mainly on which class you go on. They're not sure if they're going to install a healing section with it. They think it's only going to be DPS and tanking for right now. So
please look forward
it
to it.
calculates the damage you do. It doesn't calculate the healing that
Hmm.
happens to it.
Yeah,
Which
I
is
feel like a
nice.
healing one would be somewhat less interested. Heal a thing that just died a bit. Heal it some more. Now heal it some more.
Yeah,
I
but
feel like that becomes less interesting.
I could see
yeah,
where.
but
Go ahead.
even World of Warcraft had healing in their training sessions, so it kind of just seems.
Well, see, now this is different from the training stuff. This is more designed to get a rotation going, and there really is no rotation when it comes to healing. Where you're going to learn with the healers is more like in the hall of the novice.
I suppose so, but still.
But I mean, I see what
Yeah.
you're saying. But where they could really come up with something is there's a lot of raids, a lot of instances where you do rely on a healer DPS, whether or not it's required or not by the developers. There's still the need for your scholar and your white mage and whoever to actually do some damage out there, especially when you're working on progression content.
Yep.
I feel like though that there's going to be people that are going to argue that 9 ways to Sunday about how healers shouldn't DPS and this and that and the other thing. So
Well, I mean, the impression I have is that healers aren't required to DPS, but if they do, then you can tackle stuff a little earlier than you would otherwise.
Yep, it helps with the progression portion of it.
absolutely.
Yep. They're also going to do some adjustments to the calculations of the attack powers for tank rolls. So
This isn't an adjustment, Vox. I'm sorry to interrupt. This is a total change on how tanks are going to have their damage calculated.
yeah, paladins should be happier,
Hopefully.
at least. They're going to increase VIT, the physical potency of that, and with strength, the impact will be reduced.
So basically what's going to end up happening is the way right now bards and ninjas use dexterity as their damage output. So the higher your dexterity, the more damage you do. So they're doing the same thing with warriors, paladins, and dark knights. Now the more vitality you have, the more damage you're going to do.
The
Mhm.
point being that vitality accessories actually have a use now.
Yes, they
Yep.
do.
Won't that be something? I won't be throwing them all away. Oh, I'll never play tank because it's I can't even use half of the stuff, and I don't want to pay 20 million gil for one strength mounted accessory.
Yeah. Or wait
Yeah.
your turn after all the DPS get theirs in Alex Savage.
Yeah, now you'll actually be able to lot on the stuff that you'll actually care about the stuff you can lot on.
Plus
Right?
the fact that you're gonna be back to having 20 and 25k HP on your tanks again. So you're not gonna have your 16k tanks with their strength loadout.
Yep. They're also going to be doing some things to the astrologian, and their means of how they draw or what the hell did I type? And their means of drawing cards. Enmity generation will also be adjusted for the astrologian, so they're not
one of
going
the
to aggro as much.
One of the things I'd heard about that is, at the moment, if you shuffle a card, so if you draw a card, you decide it's not the one you want, you can shuffle it back in, it will be changed so that you can no longer draw the same card. So it's not going to be I don't need this Oyer, I'll put it back in, oh, damn it, I got Oyer again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they're gonna make it so it's randomized still, yet you're not gonna draw the same card.
Pretty much.
Okay, I like that.
Yep. Machinist will also be getting adjustments to help their sustained DPS.
Did they need the help?
I have no idea. I touched Machinist for like a minute and then I was done.
So
They
you're,
said on the live letter that machines had good burst damage, but their overall, you couldn't keep it up very well, so they wanted to help with that a little bit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
my machinist is level 52 now, and I can certainly have, hey, for the next like 30 seconds, something like that, I can put out a ton of damage, but then it's going to fall off after that. And the overall total, I think, over a longer period ended up being lower.
Bard is the same way though, and there's no mention of doing the same thing for Bard.
Yeah, that's a little.
Is Bard really the same way? I mean,
Yep.
we don't even get the machinist doesn't even get the combo thing unless they're lucky once it's outside of your big burst.
Which combo thing are you talking about?
The basic combo for the machinist involves a 50% chance that the bonus will trigger for the next one. If you have special ammo loaded, then it always triggers, but otherwise, I've had unlucky runs where I fire the basic shot 4 or 5 times in a row, hoping for a proc so I can do the next one.
A Bard is
You can-
totally based on crit. So if you get a crit, a dot that crits, then you get the proc. So I mean,
Right.
we don't even. It's not a percentage based thing of that happening. It's do you get a crit or no? So we have to
Sure.
rely on.
So
on
I
a
guess it
crit
would be a
number.
question of like what your crit rate is and if it's at all comparable.
Well, I mean, mine is godly at this point, but still, that's not the point. It's still RNG.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And like
I said, I've never touched Machinist, so
I don't know. I guess maybe I'm just complaining because I'm angry that we're still like 7 weapon damage points behind everybody else on our weapons.
well, hopefully you'll get a buff here soon.
We'll see. I mean, I don't. It's just the whole thing. I mean, I love playing Bard. I mean, it's why I still do it. And I push myself to do as much damage as I can. But it's one of those things where you're always going to be below, no matter. Even if you've got the perfect rotation, if you can call it a rotation, you get perfect procs, and you keep all your dots up. You're multi-dotting, all that stuff. You're still going to fall behind. You know, an above average melee DPS.
Mm-hmm.
So. It is
Well,
what
hopefully.
it is.
All
I
right.
think most of that's going to be from the utility, right?
Yeah, well, that's what they say, but I guess I don't know if there's really a legitimate reason as to why they have the weapon damage so much lower for Bard and Machinist than they do for everybody else.
Yep.
I mean, my impression was because it's one that fights at range, and so it's a bit easier to avoid some of the attacks. I don't know.
But Black Mage and Summoner have higher magic damage. Their magic damage numbers on their weapons are comparable to those of the melee damage classes, I believe.
I don't know then.
Anyway, end rant. Sorry.
All right, and they're also going to be making adjustments to the limit break at the rate at which it's filled. I don't know if they said it was going to fill faster. I'm guessing faster.
Are they maybe going to re-enable that whole thing with that they had to disable like right after patch 3.1?
I know they'd done something. I don't remember exactly what they did.
There was an
But
issue
then
with the number. I mean, it allowed you to have multiple jobs in there, but you couldn't have more than so many types of jobs. Like you couldn't have like 3 melee DPS or something like that, or more than 2
Yeah, it was a bit
healers, or
weird.
more than 2 tanks. So that way you weren't nerfing yourself by having dual warrior tanks or having 2 black mages.
But you still needed some
right,
amount of role variety.
Exactly.
They did that, and they undid it because they didn't want to actually instate that on people that already had static compositions for 3.0
Or
going for the 3.0 raid cycle.
or it didn't fit, the calculations weren't quite right for what actually got put into the game. I'm not sure. But maybe they fixed it and they're gonna bring it back.
Well, we can only hope.
So new Beast Tribe coming up, huh?
Yep, the Nath. It's going to be very similar to the Vanu Vanu with dynamic quest syncing. So you can go in there on your level 50. All the quests will sync up to your level 50.
I have really appreciated that as just as something to help give my lower classes a little bit more of a boost. I've been
Well, Sarah,
leveling several of my things to that.
you're going to love this even more. They're increasing the experience rewards from daily quests.
Woo! I wonder if they're gonna add the NAF as a thing with a special currency to use towards the anima weapon.
Maybe.
Maybe. They didn't make any mention to it. But maybe they will. What they did mention was this awesome kick-ass mount that you get from being whatever with them, the highest rank.
Bloodsworn, usually.
Yeah. And it's basically a mechanical dragonfly mount.
Interesting.
It is very, very cool looking.
Yeah, it's actually pretty slick.
Yeah, I want it. I'm getting it.
Well, of course.
And then, yeah, right after that, they showed one of the best things ever. No, you remember how they kind of hinted at the turtle mount flying
Yeah.
a while ago? Well, it does fly. It basically has rockets strapped to its freaking feet, and it spins like a madman.
Freaking
Oh
Oh my
rockets.
god, they've got the turtle spinning again.
It is hilarious.
How are you going to be able to ride that without throwing up?
Yeah, hold the frick on.
Does it actually spin your character too?
Yes,
Ye-
it's you spin entirely with
I-
the mount.
I saw some mention of this. Apparently, in first-person mode, it will be looking straight forward as normal. I guess the turtle would be
Yeah.
spinning under you. Why is
Well-
turtle spinning a thing?
Because Mario.
Da, 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 da.
Dun, dun. Hey.
Dun, 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 dun. Anyways,
Moving
All
on.
right.
PvP. What do we get
The
in PvP?
feast.
The feast.
We get the feast. So was it the last live letter that they kind of went over the rules of this?
They went over a bit of it, yes, but did they expand
Yeah.
upon the how it actually works this time?
Yes, they did actually. So level requirement, obviously 60. Eye
Good.
level sync, 150.
So it's going to be similar to Seal Rock at that point.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I said, this is old news. They went over it in the last live letter. The party compositions, 8 versus 8 is more for having fun with your friends. 4 versus 4 solo, win lose does not apply, does apply. 4 versus 4 solo, light
So it looks-
party, win lose does not
So
apply.
so they've got the solo and the party ladder matches and the solo and the party just for fun matches.
Yeah, pretty
prac-
much.
or practice maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Or
All right.
for the people who don't want to be involved with the seasonal ladder that's going to be going with this,
Yep.
or they don't want to affect their ladder standings.
Yep.
It might be nice to test out strategies without it having affect your ladder standing.
That's nice to be able to do as well.
Mhm.
Or you just feel like stomping a nub.
Maybe.
I can see that if we do this on Friday Night Fights, that that would be what we would queue into, so people aren't screwing up their ladder rankings.
Yep, probably.
Maybe have like some blood matches for real money and ranking at
Oh,
the end of the
God.
night.
Yeah, that's not going to go very far, is it? Before Square
Probably
Enix just
not.
totally stomps over all that and says, "Sarah, you're banned."
Yeah, no
I'm
shit.
not even fighting. I'm just running the action on the side.
For what though?
Anyways, they kind of described how it works. So you defeat the players, you get the medal. Each player starts off with 100 medals. When you die, medals will fall to the ground and can be picked up. The amount of medals an opponent drops can have varying effects. So killing the same player over and over will yield less and less.
Whoa! Effects.
Yes.
So every medal you pick up, you get like a random stat buff type of thing.
we're getting to that. Be
Okay.
patient.
I don't have patience.
Too bad you gotta have some. After the team gets a certain amount of medals, you win. So, if the certain what the hell? If a certain
Yeah.
amount of time elapses without a player being KO'd, where did the rest of that sentence go? Well,
Does everybody die? Does everybody win?
Do they just call off the match?
They start
I don't know.
getting naked and dancing in the background.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. I don't remember exactly because
Let me
the
see if I
scene
can't
got
find it here
off.
real quick.
I think
Yeah.
they just said that the debuff falls off.
Oh,
Yeah.
If
No,
nobody
that
dies
was
after a
for
while,
something else. That was for something else, I think.
give me a second here. I'm going into the mega thread here. Why I left that
Would
one
it be
open.
this culling time that's mentioned? Anyways, while we're finding that,
Anyways, there are certain elements, the effects that we were talking about in the battles. There's supply boxes. Items on the field that can help the team that grabs them. Different kinds of different effects. There's offensive, defensive, medical, and adrenaline.
adrenaline's an interesting term. What would that mean?
It's like the adrenaline rush.
Yeah, probably an
So
adrenaline
it's
rush. So you
basic-
overperform.
I think it's more along the lines of a personal limit break,
Yeah, probably.
Ooh,
like they have
Oh,
those in
right.
Seal Rock.
I should actually do Seal Rock at some point. Anyways, that would be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. All right, and there's culling time. I think this is more the effects I was talking about.
Okay.
So, a certain time in the match, during this time, debuffs will be played. The hell happened to my spelling? Will be placed on people and will make the players weaker and weaker until they get killed.
I blame it on
And
a
the
lack of
debuffs reset.
sleep.
So it sounds like during the culling time, it's like this is the time to strike out. The longer you go, the weaker people are going to get until someone starts dying.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think that's what
Exactly.
you were talking about there. So yes, it's the culling time.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
But then there's also heavy metal, not metal, metal.
Middle or whatever they kept saying.
Yep. So this increases the damage taken over time. You are marked with a debuff if the same player is picking up 2 medals. So if you're picking up more and more and more medals, if you're the only person in the whole entire group picking up the medals, you get a debuff. And the debuff grows stronger the more medals a player has.
So you don't want to
So-
grab all the medals.
No, you need to spread it out.
And it sounds like if someone is doing really well, then they kind of get marked for destruction.
Yep, pretty much.
So it's a way to balance, hopefully, the very strong players and give those who may not be quite as adept at it a chance to maybe make it up a little bit by leveling the scales, so to speak.
Yep. You can't have one superstar of the team, basically.
I wonder what Joe's going to think of that.
Uh,
But I mean, it could be a very interesting thing. Maybe other PvP types of things have this type of system in place, so maybe he's used to it. I don't know. I'm not a huge PvPer. I'm just used to what we play here in 14. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll definitely give this a try. Okay, where was I? The DKA will be displaced at the end of deathmatch, so death kill.
And
Oh,
assist.
yeah. Yeah, I have a friend who plays a lot of League of Legends and always racks up huge amounts of assists. So it can be something nice to see where even if you aren't getting the kill shots, being able to say, yeah, I'm helping support people, I'm delivering a lot of that extra damage or helping buff them up.
So I wonder if that's going to be based on a percentage of damage done to a specific player.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, traditionally it's done as whoever gets the actual kill shot gets the kill thing, but then you may have others gain the assist for just doing enough damage in addition.
Gotcha.
That makes sense.
Yeah. All right. And the tier system of it. There's 6 tiers of rank based on the PvP rating. When jumping up a tier, one must win qualifies. So if you're going up to next tier, you got to win a qualifier in order to move on.
It is the most heartbreaking thing in the world to either yourself or watching a friend who's trying to qualify for the next rank and just getting terrible matchup after terrible matchup.
Mm-hmm. So the rankings go bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, and then question mark.
S rank.
Right? The ranking and rank reset, or I must have been tired when I was freaking typing this up. My God.
It was 3:30, 4 o'clock your time
Yeah.
when this was all happening. I couldn't barely keep up with it.
Yeah,
Rank and ranking reset. I'm guessing that.
yes,
I
it
was
is
meant.
reset.
Yeah.
After a set period of time, referred to as seasons, PvP ranking, rating, and tiers will be reset. Oh
It's
my
going to be
God.
basically at every patch. So every 3.5 months, every time a new patch drops, a new point something will drop. So once
Mhm.
3.3, that's going to be a reset. 3.4, another reset. 3.5, so on and
Yep.
so forth. The 0.05s will not have a reset. It'll be just the full point ones.
Except for the first reset or the first start will not happen until 3.25, I think.
Yep.
Everything before that's going to be preseason.
Okay, so they're going to have a shortened first season then? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's a preseason. There's
Well, but they're going to go from a 0.5 to a next patch then, so it's going to be a shortened season. Otherwise, I hope they're not trying to tell us that it's going to be 3.5 months between 3.25 and 3.3.
Or it might be
Well-
that the season length may not be directly connected to when patches happen.
Yeah, I thought that's what they had talked about last the last letter. We'll see. We'll have to see.
It might also be preseason. I know when you in other types of competitive games like this, there's usually an initial period where everyone's going through and doing the initial matches to actually set out what your initial ranking's going to be.
Gotcha.
That's what this is going to be a little bit. They went into a little bit of detail in saying, okay, we want to have people test out the content, make sure that they're comfortable with it, make sure everything is balanced as it can possibly be, which is not at all considering MMO and 14 standards, but you know. But they just want people to get comfortable with it, and then 5 weeks after 3.2 is going to be 3.25, and that's when they're going to start the actual season.
Okay, and it looks like it's not coming until 3.21. So it's not,
Which is 2 weeks, I think, after the initial 3.2 drop.
Yeah, I believe that's what they said.
okay.
So yeah, they're just using the preseason to test out any bugs and making sure it works. So the actual season will begin after the launch of 3.25.
Cool. Let's see what comes with that and what time of year we're at that point. Maybe we can discuss some of this with Joe down the road. So
Maybe. All
Be
right.
interesting to hear his take on it.
Yeah, definitely. There are new dungeons.
New dungeons.
New dungeons. We have the Anti-Tower.
And it's not a tower full of ants.
No.
Nor
Or
is it a
your-
tower full of lovely ladies who will pinch your cheeks, give you a nice sweater, and maybe let you bitch about your parents for a bit. Hi, Mom and Dad, I love you.
Oh gosh. They didn't give us much information on it. They just mainly showed pictures of it.
Well, we have 4 weeks until the patch drops. They got to have something to give us in between then and now, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It looked very whimsical, a lot of floating structures, and it gives off a very elegant vibe. There was a lot of purples, a lot of dark colors. I saw a lot of Mehmets.
Biff Tech in the
So-
chat was saying that they saw a thread on Reddit that compared the Anti-Tower to Ibsen's castle in Final Fantasy IX.
Oh, yes, that's an interesting point there. With it, Ibsen's castle had sort of the two castles, one upside down. Really interesting structure to that.
Very true. Very
Hmm.
true. So, could this be
So-
the Final Fantasy bosses that they were talking about in the structure?
They did say later that that they were going to add earlier Final Fantasy bosses, so we'll see what happens there.
They didn't specify what Final Fantasy, so
They have a lot to draw from.
Yeah, they do.
yep, 13 others.
All right, and then we also have the Lost City of Andapur hard mode.
I'm assuming that you said with the bugs that you mean actual physical creepy crawlies, not a lot of developer bugs.
yes, actual physical creepy
okay.
crawlies, not the actual developer bugs.
I mean, that place was already filled with mold and mushrooms and the like, and now we're going to get it be all wet? Like
yep,
this,
it's gonna be all wet.
All right, status effect asthma persists for the
God.
entirety of the freaking dungeon.
Yeah, not my asthma, just my
Asthma.
asthma.
Your
It-
sprint
it looks
command will
very
be
cool.
cut to a quarter.
It looks like we're going farther down this time. So
And you can't console the person to get the buff to come off.
Mm. And from what you're saying, so it sounds like we're going to get to because before we just saw, it seemed like we were at the top of a bunch of very tall structures. I
mhm.
didn't really get the feel like we got that much into the city, mostly just walking through some of its streets.
Well, until we got towards the end there. Then we went down into that building with the magic staircases and all that fun stuff.
Yeah,
Yep.
that seemed like some kind of specialty civic building or something.
Where Diablos decided to hang out. So basically, we're going to see what happens to the Lost City without Diablos, I'm assuming then.
I kind of wondering what exactly is going to be sending us back in there. I always like the plot tie-ins for these. So, given that Gridania has been very worried about having this place on their doorstep, I'm expecting that they're going to want us to finish investigating the place, perhaps seal off some other terrible thing in there.
Do all the things.
For sure.
Maybe.
I'm
We'll
actually
see.
looking forward to it. I didn't mind that dungeon all that bad. I mean, I like the mechanics of the first one, except for that stupid undead Gobu boss. I didn't like that.
That ate everybody.
Yes, he gave that belly mouth gave me nightmares.
Oh.
You and me both.
From the first day that I saw that when they announced, I'm like, oh my god, are you kidding me?
Oh hell no!
Right?
How does it even live?
It's on-
Ugh.
It's
Yeah.
not. It's a zombie.
Okay, point taken, but Ugh.
So,
Then they
Midas.
talked about Alexander Midas. Both normal and savage will be implemented at the same time. The frick did I mean by this?
My progress will be recorded. So
yeah.
So it sounds like it's going to be the standard type of raid thing where,
Lockout.
yeah, raid lockout.
Okay.
Similar to
Alright.
what we have in Savage right now. I'm assuming that they are going to have a similar drop structure to what normal has, so they're not going to limit it to one per week, or do you think they will?
They said it is basically the same as now as Gordius Savage.
So we're going to be able to level up to our 220 gear within a week if we want to.
Possibly.
Well, I mean, that's been the standard. Once the new level comes out, you make it reasonably easy to catch up to that so that not every single person is locked out of even attempting the Savage content.
Well,
But
there is a reason why we're going to be able to get up to 220 or maybe higher fairly quickly, but that may come a bit later.
I don't know. I think they're going to keep it to where it's going to take us 6 weeks in order to get our body pieces or something like that, like they did with the initial of Alex Normal Gordius.
Ugh, I still have a freaking shaft that I haven't bothered to get the other 3 of yet.
Yeah, I think they're going to make it take so much time. You're going to collect them all, and you probably get locked out one per week or something like that. I hope that doesn't happen, but let's see.
I have like a lens and 2 cranks that I'm not using at all for any reason.
I have
Yeah.
a pile of stuff from floor 1 just from farming it for my relic. So,
You could outfit all of your minions or retainers. They're retainers.
well, I only have one battle retainer. It's already like I-208.
Damn.
Well, it's because of all that diadem gear.
Oh, I suppose yes.
Because I've got the diadem gear, they got my gear, and I had a lot of fabled or the repaired esoteric gear. Anyway, I'm actually looking forward to Midas. I like the fact that they learned from their mistake of making the difficulty of Savage way, 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 way too hard, and they dropped the difficulty down to something more in line with second and final coils.
Yeah, there's definitely a balancing act to be struck there where you want it to actually be challenging enough so that you feel accomplishment and so that it does act as some kind of limitation, but it just seemed like this one was too hard.
Yeah, they tuned it too tight on the first set, so I think that tuning it back a bit is going to be the smart move. You're going to get a better clear rate. You're going to see. I'm sure that the groups like the World Firsts and all them, they're going to probably have it down within probably 2 weeks. Is my guess. Maybe a little bit. There might be some first week clears. I don't know, depending on how difficult they make the last turn. But I really have a feeling that we're going to have a lot more people pushing that final floor a lot sooner than what we had with the current setup.
It's going to be much faster. If second and final coil are any indication.
Yeah.
Though, I have to admit, though, when we were doing second coil, there, turn 8 and turn 9 were huge roadblocks for us. I didn't actually get my turn 9 clear until after Heaven's Word.
Oh, wow.
My raid, we decided to run it unsynced, and we did it in 2.5 minutes.
Damn.
Before the servers went down. I mean, we literally finished. 10 seconds later, the servers went down. It was hilarious. and
Clearly, the force of your awesome just destroyed the servers.
Yes, exactly.
Good job.
But no,
All
I'm
right, Will.
looking forward to it.
Yep.
Here's the greatest part about it. I'm sorry to interrupt again, but I think the best part about it, we don't have to clear A4S to go to it.
Yeah, that's a really good thing.
Because
otherwise, a lot of people would be locked out.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, and it makes sense that they did it this way as well, because the Savage mode is basically story is it's as told by the Wandering Minstrel. So I mean, it's not actually really happening. It's a story, a magical story we're playing through, right? Similar to extreme mode.
Sort of, but you end up walking with gear or walking away with gear that you can keep. So
yeah, well, you know what I mean.
I like to imagine that story-wise, like you found all this neat stuff in there, and you remember, oh, that thing I saw there, that was a helmet, and then you go back and grab it.
Yeah, and it's better than what you actually got. It you remember it as better, right?
Yeah, hand wave it away.
Yeah.
All right. Well, moving on. Materia changes and adjustments.
This is where this could make or break this patch, I think.
Yeah, it definitely could easily. Crafted equipment and accessories. The strength, dex, fit, int, mind.
Don't question it. It's just magic.
Piety.
Delicious pie.
All right, Chili, we won't question it. It is just magic. Thank you for the another donation.
Thank you.
Yay.
All right. Advanced materia melding will no longer be possible.
That surprised me a lot.
That one, it's only on you can't put primary stat in forbidden meld zones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you cannot overmeld dungeon gear. The overmeld slots are only for secondaries on crafted gear and gear that is not dropped from a dungeon.
Like, part of me wonders if we're still going to be getting to thing where each job has one stat to rule them all. So it's like, if you get your crit materia, well, go find a bard to sell that to. Or if it's going to be something where people actually start caring about getting some kind of mix going.
Well, they're gonna dig through all this as soon as the patch drops. They're gonna data mine it, and they're gonna figure out what the stat weights are on all the gear that is out there. And they're gonna see what you can add to it, and then they're gonna crunch the numbers, and they're gonna determine what's gonna be the best thing to put in there. So I mean, we're still gonna end up with a best in slot, sadly, but it is the way it is.
Yeah,
it's going to be a lot more. I think it's going to be a lot more open in the fact that. You're going to be able to achieve very, very similar results with different gear based on how you can actually meld the off stats.
Yeah, I mean, you can get a similar look. Let's say you're having difficulty getting your Midas Savage arms out of the second Midas coil or second Midas floor. But if you were to tweak your tome gear slightly with materia, you maybe get a similar thing. So maybe that's what you're trying to say?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I mean, that's possible. Where I'm hoping this ends up going, and I know we won't see it probably until the next expansion, is I'm hoping for a new type of materia where we don't have just stats to put onto gear, where we actually have abilities, bonuses, things of that nature that we can put into our gear to really customize it, where we can add enhancing a stat. Or, we currently enhance stats right now, but let's say we want to enhance our blood for blood, or we want to reduce the cooldown or improve its how long it lasts or something like that. Maybe give us an increase in the duration of Enochian or something along those lines. That's what I'm hoping that they can do. Go ahead.
That's an interesting idea. The thing I always want to be careful with this is making sure that you don't make something that crosses from, hey, this will create cool customization, to this is required.
Yeah, I think if you add materia into the system that, gives you those types of things that you can enhance your traits, that gives you some room to play around with it. It's almost along the lines of a skill tree, but done with materia. Because, you can pop out the materia and put in a different one. You lose the materia, you pop out, but, it allows you to, change it out. Or you can have another set of gear that says, okay, maybe, I've got this piece of gear that's got my hollowed ground materia to, make the cooldown go down. But, for this fight, I actually need to where I get a buff to some other paladin thing. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on what's there, but gives you some, makes gear, sets, a thing again.
Yeah, you can't switch for every single ability like you could and eventually were required to in Final Fantasy XI.
Thank God.
So I suppose it can't get that bad. If this comes with a concomitant expansion in the armory chest, then I suppose I would be more okay with it.
Yeah, Chili, he mentions the merit system from 11. Now, that's an idea that I've been throwing around as well. I would love to see the ability to merit up. It'll give people a reason to keep going on their mains. The other thing I want to see is them expand the need for, or the use of, set bonuses. If you go to your grand company, go to the supplier and look at some of that gear, there are gear set bonuses on that stuff. And that's like the only place in this game that uses it.
I like gear set bonuses, but yeah, we don't see much of them.
Why don't we use more of that? Add it to Midas gear. Add it to the esoteric gear. Make people have a reason to wear the entire set.
Other than glamours.
If you don't like the way it looks, glamour over it, but make people wear the whole set. Make a set useful again, for crying out loud. Please. Okay, I'm done.
Do you feel better?
Yes. And this was supposed to be the happy show. What the heck?
Well, we're going to get to the happy. Don't worry. Let's just move on.
Let's keep moving on. Sorry to kind of, but there's just so much to go off of here.
Klaus is having the emotions and the feels right now.
I'm having the feels, people.
Oh, the feels.
All right. Well, they're going to...
This is a happy thing.
Shush. We're moving on.
Yes.
Leave it in the past. The ability to meld materia will be expanded to various types of equipment, such as raid gear.
Yep, we kind of touched on that a little bit.
Yep. And let's see, adjustments will be made to the availability of grade 4 and 5 materia, as well as the amount that they can be exchanged for.
So it's not going to cost like 5 million gil right now?
Yeah, they're saying it's going to be easier to obtain them.
Okay, how much easier are they talking?
They didn't say.
Are we, because right now you can get raid 5 or rank 5 materia through the diadem for 45 brass spoils. Is that correct? For certain ranks?
Something like that.
So are they going to reduce the amount that you need to turn them in, or how are they going to do it?
No idea.
I'm just asking the questions.
Dun, dun, dun. All right. Help me because I'm
inquiring
gonna
minds
butcher
want to know. This is the orchestrion.
the orchestrion. Okay. For those who don't know, it's a jukebox that will change the background music from inside the house.
Now, here's a question that maybe you can
The
answer.
party is coming from inside the house.
There.
Sorry. Not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. Is
Pretty
this
much.
only going to be for free companies, or is this going to be for private houses too?
They said everyone can get one.
Ooh.
So it's not just for free companies. If you want one for your private house,
Oh man.
by
You
all
mean-
means.
The one that you're still waiting on?
Can I
Pouring
put
more
it in
salt, more salt?
Can I put it in the yard and change the music for the entire zone of
God,
mist and
wouldn't
get a
that be
homeowners
nice?
association?
Indoor.
Get
Dude,
banned by the
thi-
homeowners association, you mean? Because you're
I'm
going to play
gonna-
under the weight, under the weight, under the weight, Titan.
This is how I'm going to get a homeowners association to finally form to get me to stop my shenanigans.
Just play Under the Weight for 5 hours every
And then I'm thinking of
Every
putting
morning.
a rusted chocobo wain on the front in the
Oh,
front
God.
yard up on blocks.
on wooden blocks.
Anyways,
Sorry, moving on. The orchestrion.
it's saying all players inside the house can change the music. I don't know if that means if guests can come over and change the music.
God,
but
I
they're
hope
saying all
not.
players.
I hope they don't set it to that.
I'm really hoping not as well.
Because I don't want
Uh,
people to come into my house and then change it to like the
Papaya, papaya.
I don't mind that song, but it gets stuck in your head. I can't even think of a song that I really hate right now, but they do something like that and then they leave and then it's like, God damn it. And
It'll be Moogle Mog all the time.
I could get used to that.
Oh gosh.
Well,
Anyways.
actually, that's what's going to be in our free company house. 'Cause it's got freaking Moogle skin.
You don't like the Moogle skin? I think it's adorable.
I'm
He
not a
doesn't like
fan.
the Moogle skin.
I'm not a fan. I'm a fan of skinned Moogles.
Oh god. Anyways, the music will be played in a loop.
Okay.
Sheet music for new songs can be obtained through various means. So basically what they mean on that is you go into do a dungeon, you get a special drop. You use that drop to craft said music. And then you unlock it and you
Nice.
get the music.
So are bards
know
going to
who's
have to
gonna
write
craft
these
it.
now?
I don't know. Are bards going to become crafters?
Bards are going to become the first combat crafter combo.
I mean, if I had to guess, I'd go with Goldsmith to create like the intricate things that you're going to slot into your orchestrion to play a particular tune. It'd be like crafting music box parts.
Or is it
right?
going to be
Yeah.
like the alchemist writing it on vellum with their magic inks?
Maybe.
Nope, nope, nope.
really-
I got it. It's going to be culinarian just because.
Oh god. Just why not? Sure.
Because hey, culinarians can make airship parts. Why can't they make sheet music?
Do you want to risk your fuel mixture to someone else who doesn't know how to blend properly? I didn't think so.
Will it blend?
Let's find out.
Anyways, something really cool about it is that the volumes will change as you go from floor to floor from the house.
Oh, it's
It will
dynamic.
be muffled. Yep. It will be muffled. Like, let's say the orchestrion is on the main floor. If you go to the bottom floor, it'll be muffled. If you go to top floor, it'll be muffled.
Oh man, this means you could have like your basement rec room, and then the people upstairs being like, "Turn that down! I'm trying to sleep." We can role
Turn
play
down that damn music, you young whippersnappers.
We can role play so many conflicts.
You're gonna bang your spear against the ceiling. Quiet down up there.
Yeah.
Damn
They're
kids.
actually joke around. I don't know how serious they are about possibly putting like basically surround sound speakers for the orchestrion and having to or being able to place them in the house.
I don't think they're that
That'd be
serious on
crazy.
it, but I think it'd be. I like it how it is. It just my immersion.
I don't know. I mean, it really tripped me out when he kept turning the camera around last night. And 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 I had to just kept going from one ear to the other ear to the other ear. So that kind of thing might be nice.
Oh man, there's gonna be that one perfect spot to sit in so you can hear the music just right.
Oh gosh.
It's just like the obsessively engineered house of an audiophile.
So yeah, I have a solution for that. It's called Buy the Soundtracks.
and play it in your own damn house.
Oh, look at me. I'm Sayo Mayo. I like to solve things a sensible way.
My way has minions, sir.
That's true. We do have minions
Oh,
from them.
gosh.
Except I didn't get my damn didn't get my Dalamud.
Well,
That's
I
great.
don't have my Primog, so it's all good.
I wish I.
Anyways,
But you
I-
can
I
still
got-
get it. So
I got one of the printings that didn't have a Dalamud in it. I'm still kind of cranky about that.
exactly. We should
Aw.
form a support group.
Okay.
Missing
Anyways,
soundtrack
moving
minions
on.
Moving
madness.
on.
Another cool thing about this is that on the music list, the bottom of it can actually tell you how it's obtained. So, kind of
Okay,
like
so-
a little
so-
cheat sheet.
The actual device itself is going to tell you how to get this song, how to get that song, how to get this song.
Pretty much, yeah.
Cool.
Like where you gotta go, who you gotta do, and stuff like that.
Wait, what?
Hmm.
We're going to send Sayo out for those?
I'm just getting the soundtrack. Thank you very much.
Like I said, we're going to send Sayo out to get those ones where you got to do people. So he
Seems fine by me.
needs it. He needs the.
Yar,
I
welcome
volunteer
to,
as tribute.
Yes. Okay. The mentor system.
Yep. So they started talking about the mentor system. Senpai, finally. So the mentor system is meant to help and support beginning players. Surprise, surprise. After becoming a mentor, players can gain access to helpful features designed to help beginners.
Good.
You got to get certified in order to become a mentor.
You have to be you got to be certifiable to become a mentor.
Yep. So the requirements, you got to have at least one job to 60 in each role.
So
Tank, healer, DPS. So you got to have at least 360s and one in each role.
Which, I mean, makes some amount of sense. It's no good going in and being like, hey, I want to mentor. Oh, by the way, I can only teach you how to DPS.
Now, here's the question that I've seen rise up. How does Arcanist count? Because
Both.
they
Both.
only they basically only need to level 2.
They just need to level Arcanist to 60. Just
Make sure
so
they
long as
unlock
get
both jobs.
crystals, and then level a tank. Yeah.
Although I have trouble believing that someone's going to really go out of their way to be like, haha, I'm a mentor, even though I'm not trained for it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I've got my white mage up to 60, and I'm not a very good healer.
But do you think you could explain the basics to a newbie?
Maybe. You cast the highest level heal until you're out of mana, and then you yell at the
Um,
bard
how such-
for his song.
As someone who mains healer, I'm very concerned for you.
You couldn't tell my sarcasm voice?
That's not how you do it.
Ah,
I'm sorry.
damn
You're
it!
doing
I thought I
bad.
was doing it
You're
all
bad.
right. I thought I was doing the awesomes. I get all the
Let-
commands.
Let Senpai Luna help you.
I was taking a drink there, damn it! You're lucky I didn't spill all over my keyboard.
You're welcome. Senpai Luna's doing her job already.
Senpai
Anyways.
Luna.
You have to be completed Dungeons and Trials more than 1,000 times. Another
I think-
requirement.
There is a helpful achievement for checking your progress on this if you are not
Yep.
quite sure.
Yep.
Is there?
Yep.
How?
I think it's safe to assume that we've all done it.
Yep.
I don't know. I have to double check this.
Yep.
Tell me. Don't just yep me.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
And then
So
you have
it's
to
gonna
also
be-
receive 300 or more commendations.
So it's going to be under battle, the dungeons category. How many does it need to be?
1,000.
1,000.
So if you've completed the achievement Dungeon Master.
Yep.
I'm 895.
Yep.
So I have to do
You have to get good.
105 more.
That's
Come
not
on,
too
Luna.
bad.
Get good.
No. You know
And yeah.
what, Klaus?
Come on,
I
Senpai
am
Luna.
done with
Get
your
good.
Done.
Yeah. No, I will have you know that I actually have the achievement Lifer 1.
I do too.
I'm... How close am I to that? Oh, 500 away from that. Not too bad.
Yep.
I worry about the person who has Lifer 3.
Oh, wait, what
Yeah,
is
I
this?
just.
Successfully complete 10,000 instants. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like, good on you, but
Like, do you even get anything for that?
are you achievement points?
And
No, other
carpal
than-
tunnel.
Oh, lovely. Oh boy. Anyways,
And maybe you get a gold-plated bucket.
why a bucket?
Because you've been poop
Gold-plated-
socking the whole thing.
Oh my
Gold-plated
God.
Gold-plated carpal tunnel wrist brace.
Gold-plated bedpan.
Just go with the bucket. Anyway. So there's one for the DOH and DOL too, huh?
Yes, there are mentor systems for
I don't get to do this
DOH
one
and
yet.
DOL.
I don't have a 60 crafter.
Uh-oh. Yep.
Klaus
you need
needs to get
one
good.
level 60 in each class, crafted at least 100 collectibles / 300 gatherables.
Yep.
So
So
you
red-
have to gotta put in your time with Rowena.
Yep.
Pretty much. You got to
Yep.
be your bitch a little more.
Let's see.
But after becoming a mentor, there is a new chat channel for mentors and beginners.
And you can invite beginners at your pace. They're not automatically put in there. So it's going to keep out
Mhm.
the RMTs.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
You actually have to get invited, or can you?
I believe you have to be invited.
What? Just wait for someone to invite an RMT for trolling
Oh
purposes.
God.
Oh, it'll happen.
Are you going to be the first one to do it?
Hell no.
I might if I'm feeling froggy enough. I just might do it.
Say, oh my God, am I going through puberty or something?
You're fine. You need more tea.
Okay. Oh yeah, apparently.
You
There's
want me
also
to
a
take
new
over for a
roulette,
little bit?
daily roulette mentor.
So you get certain rewards for running a certain amount of times, huh?
That's what it's looking like.
No tomes, though.
No tomes.
Boo.
Nope. You just have to be happy for your glamours and
Yeah,
achievements.
well, I mean, that is a nice thing in that you have a lot of the roulettes right now where like, oh great, a newbie? Okay, well, don't watch your scenes. We're just gonna go.
Mhm.
Like it does seem like something where you want to say, hey, we'll give you some kind of reward, but we don't want something where everyone's going to be coming in and pushing out the people that this is actually meant to help.
Yeah, but
I don't even mind the fact that like people watch the cutscenes and like Praetorium and stuff. Just let me out of the bubble and let me do the work. I'm fine with that.
see, here's my thing with that. I think that Square Enix is really missing a way to incentivize this for the mentors themselves to really want to do this. Why do we run content? For freaking tomes.
For tomes, for gil, for experience, like I don't mind taking longer
Well-
on a dungeon, but if I'm used to taking 15 minutes for a dungeon, if I'm going to take that extra 15 minutes and have a 30-minute dungeon run, pay me for the extra freaking 15
Right.
minutes. That's all I'm asking out of you.
Incentivize it for us. That's all I'm asking.
They kind of do though.
Glamours.
Yeah, and
Well, I mean, they already have a system for you guys. This system is for other people.
glamours are the true end game. Remember, guys.
Hmm.
That said,
Yes,
though,
Senpai Luna.
I don't
Damn right,
mind
Senpai Luna.
running. I don't mind running content if people actually want to learn. I don't mind teaching people if it means that the game is going to be
Senpai Seo.
This has
better
been your
for it.
Seo is not a terrible person moment.
Not today.
And now he's going to
Every
take it
other
all
day.
back.
On
Every
every
other
other day. For every other reason, probably, but
Oh
not
my
today.
God.
I
Yeah,
just
that's basically the mentor system.
I just think they missed a huge way to incentivize it for more of the people. But I suppose they don't want everybody and their mother to become a mentor, huh? I mean, like in 11, when they had the mentor system, all you had to do was hit a little flag and you put an M by your name, and that was basically it.
And
Mhm.
people pretty much did that to do the, oh, look, I'm in Valkurn, but I have a level 30 plus, therefore you should do what I say.
Exactly.
Yep. All right. Well, talking about one of the new trials now.
Ooh.
Containment Bay S1T7. And then Containment Bay
S1T7 Extreme.
Extreme. Sephiroth? The
Sephiroth.
Fiend? Sorry, Sarah, how do you pronounce it?
Sephiroth?
Sephiroth?
Or something like that. It comes from like a Kabbalah thing. Like the Final Fantasy VII villain was named after the same thing. It's just really cool. I'm gonna sidetrack. We're not getting into it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Well, moving on. The person who made this raid or trial, whatever, also made Titan. It looks very cool. Think the fractal end boss, but not as big, and it has bamboo plants coming out of the bottom with mist. It's very cool looking. You are on a platform. You can't jump off the platform. Yoshi tried.
Yeah, it looks like it's broken glass on the edge of it.
Yeah.
So
maybe
some type of containment pod that it broke out of?
he was in a giant
Well,
snow
it
globe.
is called the
Well,
containment bay.
He was in a giant snow globe.
Oh, why would he have ever wanted to leave?
Because
Alright.
he was starring. He thought he was starring in a Lindsay Sterling video.
Oh god. Anyways, normal mode is included in the main storyline quest.
Okay.
Extreme is not. So they seem to be going back to that now.
There was some debate over whether or not that was going to be. I don't know why.
I'm sorry, I can't remember his name. The translator's name actually got that wrong, and he admitted to getting it wrong.
So
He got a lot of things wrong last night, but we won't get into that.
Yeah.
So it is a part of MSQ. So basically, MSQ actually has meaning again. Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much. So
Good.
that I'm happy about. You guys know my guff with that whole entire thing.
Well, I guess I understand why they took some of that stuff out of MSQ, but it really did make it meaningless. So I'm glad.
Yes.
Part of me is glad that they put it back in there to actually make people want to and need to run main story. Because I'm wondering why, if that's part of the reason why a lot of people haven't actually run the 3.1 storyline yet, because there's no in-game
There's no
reason to
incentive.
do it,
Yeah.
other than a minion, I think.
Well,
Just-
most people don't really care about the story either, but I mean, seriously, guys, go do it. People spend maybe 5 to 7 weeks at the end of a patch cycle figuring out what the hell to do. Just go do your MSQs. They actually have decent production value most of the time. The story is good. They're actually trying to serve you good content. Just go
Now-
do it, please.
I want to
Yeah.
mention, given that this is included in the MSQ, I feel like this has implications for the kinds of threats that Ishgard is about to be facing.
Yep. But yeah, guys, if you haven't done them, you're gonna have to do them eventually. So just do it. Just do it.
Just do it.
So anyways,
Make your dreams come true.
wait, what?
Now, when did you become a motivational speaker, Luna?
Hey,
First you're senpai, now you're a motivational speaker. What's next? A used car salesman?
Senpai
I did-
So much
Shia
sass.
La Luna. Thank you.
I actually did start this one, I will admit.
Oh, boy.
God. But they also showed some of the gear that you can get from his extreme. It's very gold. Paladin shield is kind of shiny and blue and gold, but I don't like gold, so I'm not very impressed.
Well, it's all going to depend on what the eye level is and where it's going to fit into the progression for people, whether or not they're going to be willing to run it often to get the drop as they're working through Midas and all that fun stuff. So are we going to end up with basically worthless gear like we got out of Void Ark and the other dungeons?
I'm assuming that it's going to have more of the role that Ravana did, going into Alex Savage 1.
Well, see, Ravana had a great role because that 190 weapon was actually good.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, realistically, the secondary stats, at least speaking of the bow part of it, the bow, it was crit det. The 200 ISO weapon was horse crap. So, But
He's not kidding. It really gave plus 70 to horse and plus 25 to crap.
He just flung it at the boss like a damn ape.
Yeah, just like the boss on Hullbreaker. Anyway, yeah, you just pull it back on the string and pwing! It's like a slingshot.
Okay. Well, moving on.
Moving on. Sorry about
they
that.
talked about the exploratory mission. So, Datum, they're adjusting the times.
That'll be nice that we're not going to be stuck in there for an hour and a half anymore.
Yep. Hard mode from 90 to 60, normal 90 to 45, easy. You're in there for a half an hour.
That's what it should be for easy, because that's so face
Yeah.
roll.
Yeah, pretty much. They also nerfed the times from entering. So instead of 45 minutes you have to wait between entering, it's now down to 30.
Yep, and I read that they actually thought about pulling that out altogether, but they decided to keep it in there because, they didn't want to, what was their reasoning behind that?
I am not sure.
I would assume, just from an outsider's
Oh.
perspective, that they wouldn't want you to keep changing instances if you didn't like the one that you landed.
I found what it is. It's because they're adding the new tombstones to it. They wanted to make sure to keep a re-entry time in place. So they didn't want you to go in, get your reward, leave, go right back in again and get more tomes. They wanted to put at least that half an hour in there so you're not just always dropping and re-entering and getting an unlimited source of tomes.
That makes just as much sense.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
I mean, there's a good reason for it, so.
They also adjusted the amount of Aether Currents that you need. Hard mode from 4 to 3. Normal, you just got to get 2. And easy, you just got to get 1 now.
That's a little too easy. But,
Yeah,
I mean, I guess.
Does anybody even do easy? Has anybody even done
other than
easy?
gathering parties? No.
Yeah, there's no reason to do it unless you just need to gather like your cloud, like the stuff on the nodes. Because can you get pterodactyls from easy mode fishing?
Oh yeah, I've done it before.
Okay, then maybe you would do that. I don't know. Like I said, it might get more people to run it again. But the biggest issue with Diadem, like I said, we ran it so much when it first came out. I mean, it was an okay system, I guess. I mean, we had fun with it. Learning how to quote unquote cheese the system, to maximize the amount of chests and the amount of star rank mobs that we got out of it. We kind of cheesed it a little bit. Then they had to come in and say, no, you're getting gear too fast. So they had to put some rules on it, and then it kind of, killed the whole vibe we had going with it. But beyond that, I'm hoping that some of these changes might, get people to maybe start running it again for some reason, other than to get more spoils for materia.
Yeah.
I do miss those days, though. I mean, Skage pretty much engineered that whole strategy
Oh
for all
my
of us.
Oh, yeah.
God.
Honestly, the only thing I liked about, the only thing that I'm taking away from Diadem is that if we never got into Diadem, we would have met Skage, we would have met Riss, we would have met Marth, Kit, you, Sayo, anyone else. We wouldn't have met you.
It was a great way to meet good people, so.
Yeah. I got what I wanted out of it. I got my now good friends that I game with all the time and bullshit with. So that.
Yep.
Done.
The Phoenix Down community in itself really benefited from all of that. I mean, because a lot of them actually joined the free company now. Plus, the show, we gained Sayo as a co-host, so that's always good. How did we meet? We basically... we shouted for somebody to join us, I think, and they ended up coming in, and we just had such a blast. We got them on voice chat, and it was just one of those fate meetings.
Yeah, it definitely.
It was just one of the weirdest things, and we actually made really good friends on it. And that's what kind of pushing. That's how one of the favorite things about this game, that we're going to be discussing later on. Please look forward to it. We're almost done with this, so.
I swear to God, we're almost done with this. Where was I? A bonus will be granted to the group that spawns an enemy from fresh tracks.
Oh, what did they say? What kind of bonus?
No, but I thought we already kind of had that.
Well, I remember what they. Oh, I think that bonus is that party actually gets first shot at it. They're gonna get they get the first shot to get the claim at it.
Okay,
I read that in the mega thread actually, so that's what the bonus is.
So
and then
also they're going to implement a filter feature that will be added with the UI when delivering items to the Splendors vendor.
Freaking time.
Right?
How many misbreak items did you give accidentally because they weren't a part of a gear set?
Ooh, too many.
Right?
Too damn.
I mean, they already had it in the freaking grant companies for turning stuff in. Why didn't they just implement it from the beginning?
Yep.
Slash
One
rant
of those
over.
things they just kind of glossed over.
Oversight.
Anyways,
let's kind of push through these a little bit because we've been really
Yeah.
running on this for a long time, and it's a lot of stuff to go over, and it's good stuff, and we've
But
got
we
a lot
got
of people.
more to do.
We got a lot more to do. This is going to be one of our longest shows, guys. We appreciate everybody who's here hanging out with us. Like I said, we have one of our biggest audiences today, so thank you. I just want to take the time to thank everybody on this.
I love
yeah.
you all.
All right, why don't you go ahead and continue on.
Anyways, adjustments to DOH and DOL. We'll be adding a number of new crafting recipes. Recipe for high item level crafted equipment. What the hell did I write again? Oh my god.
It's making crafted items usable in raids. It's making it actually decent for progression.
What Klaus said.
Something that we should have had from the beginning.
Yep.
Crafted gear was always 20 to 30 eye levels below even like the basic stuff. I think the highest thing that we could craft in 3.0 was I-150 accessories and such.
I-150 accessories and I-180 left side gear.
But that left side gear didn't have nearly as good as stats as the law gear, I don't believe. The upgraded law gear.
Yeah, but you could meld it, so it was actually used for progression back in like week 1, week 2, but beyond that, no.
And you were spending so much money on the materia for overmelding that it ended up not being worth it, especially when you started getting those once you got your first prototype Gordian pieces and then starting to get your ESO pieces, it just became worthless. The only things that stayed relevant throughout that were the pentamelded strength and vid accessories that tanks were using, just because it was able to give them the best of both worlds. And now with the change coming with tanks now becoming vitality important again, needing the high vitality to do DPS, it's going to make that part moot as well. So, but they're actually making the gear. It's going to be comparable eye level. It's going to be comparable stats. It's going to be meldable. So thank you. And it's not going to be that hard to make. You may have to have some specialists, but it's not going to be impossible to get the stuff. So people are going to be able to do it in the first couple of weeks.
Yep. So about downtime.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he actually ended up saying that specifically they're not going to be hard to get. During the first few weeks, they would be expensive, but right after that, they're going to drop as soon as people realize how easy the materials are to obtain.
Yep, because the only reason it's going to get expensive is because there's a few crafters that are able to do it right now, and they're going to take advantage of it. And more power to them for doing it.
Yep.
All right.
Well, moving on. We said materia isn't going to be as hard, or material. The materials to create the stuff. Not going to be hard to obtain. Don't worry about it.
This next point I'm very happy about.
High elegant crafted gear can be dyed.
Well, it's gear that you have to make as a crafter, that you get a blueprint from the previous coils.
Yep. So you got to go back into your old coils and do them again. Pretty much.
I wish they had just made the actual high elegant gear dyeable, so we actually had a reason to go back and actually just run them for the gear. Now it's going to be, we'll have to run for the item, but I can see it both ways, I guess, but
this is kind of just overcomplicating it.
Thought I heard somewhere in there, I don't know if it was directly through the feed or through Marco, that the items required for the recipe would actually be the base high elegant gear.
So it's basically going to be like an augmentation.
I would think so.
Like they did with the where you can make the glowing relic gear.
Maybe.
That could be interesting. So maybe we'll have to farm a whole bunch of crap in order to do it. But I know these aren't going to be very high level recipes to do.
Yep. All right. Well, moving on. Crafting and gathering scripts. Additional items that can be purchased with red scripts will be added to the hotfix on Thursday, February 25th, which will coincide with the weekly reset thing, whatever.
Yep, because all scripts reset on Thursdays, not on Tuesdays with everything else, just to give it a little bit of an offset. So that makes sense. Why put the stuff in there when people have haven't had a chance to get more scripts yet?
Yep. All right. Other updates. Let's go through these super fast.
All right.
Elegant tombstones of lore will be added, so not elegant tombstones of transmission.
Yeah. Yeah, tombstones, but that's all right. Yeah,
Sorry, that's one of my pet peeves.
where did we hear that it was going to be of transmission? I remember hearing that in the past,
I don't know.
but tombstones of lore, and they're going to be Sarah's favorite.
Woo!
No more soldiery. Law will be made unavailable. Esso's uncapped, and new lore is capped.
I mean, if you haven't turned in your soldiery tombstones by now, I don't know what you've been doing.
Go do that
Yeah.
because if you still have any, you will not be able to convert them into poetics.
What
If
does
you-
that do for the relic then?
It's gonna become the things that you buy with law are gonna be purchasable with Esso, maybe at a reduced rate or reduced price.
Hopefully.
That's
It'll-
usually what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some quality of life stuff. Sword/shield will always drop at the same time from now on.
So no longer having to do multiple runs to try and get that Leviathan sword and shield. You're gonna get them at the same time.
Yep.
Now, is
Okay,
this actually gonna go back to old content, or is this gonna be something that's only new content going forward?
I mean,
They
it's gonna
didn't specify. You think
it's gonna be hard for some of them. I mean, I believe, just as an example, in the first binding coil, the shield drops in turn 1 while the sword drops in turn 5. So
Now,
they'd have to mess with loot tables.
Now, here's the other question: are you gonna be able to get both at the same time, or are they gonna be two separate items?
probably two separate items.
So what's that gonna do for lockouts? Right?
Ooh.
Anyways, moving on.
Nothing for lockouts, just because the lockouts for the raids are different from the lockouts for like Crystal Tower / Void Arc.
No, but what I'm talking about here is once somebody gets to Midas floor 4 and the sword and board drops, it's a one item per week.
They might have it as
currently, right?
But right
I
now
guess
you
we'll
don't
have to
have
wait and
the
see.
guaranteed sword and shield drop together.
So I mean, is that gonna be
All right.
considered one? Are they gonna allow them to get both then? One roll for both, but two items? That's weird.
I would hope so, because I mean, paladins are the only class as of now that have that issue.
Yep. Anyways, moving on. Gatherers can still gather when participation window appears.
So you're not locked out from being able to hit that unspoiled node that just popped right after your queue popped.
Exactly. All roulettes will be possible to enter with a party.
Yay!
So they're taking that restriction off, except for mentor roulette.
Yep. So I can still see, it'll be nice to run all the 4-man stuff with a pre-made, just get it done. A lot of us don't have a lot of time to sit and wait in queue forever and ever and ever and ever. I'll probably still run the trials as a solo because that one pops fast anyway. And
Yep.
waiting for 8 people is not, I don't want to wait for a party finder for 8 people for that.
Right. They're adding a history tab to your teleports. So quick access to recent aetherites.
So you can see how often Seo's going to the gold saucer.
Exactly.
Can quit
Mhm.
anytime he wants, I'm sure.
They're going to expand on the idling camera and group pose feature.
Did they expand on what they mean by that?
No. So
We're going to do stuff later.
Yeah, pretty much.
Escala, do you
My
have
God.
7 other people on your server? Whoa, sorry. Sorry.
Ouch. Anyways, hotbar improvements. The recast animation will be improved.
I've seen this. It's amazing. I would never go back.
Yes, it definitely looks good.
I guess I don't quite understand that one.
Basically, what they've done is, as it stands right now, you have basically a clock ticking, and the more time elapses, the more of the picture is showing.
Gotcha. All right,
With
so
the
on
new
the-
one,
on the
it's
bar.
just with the new one, the same thing happens. Only it's like a smaller circle area within that bigger square
Yeah.
that's highlighted, so that you
Okay.
can see exactly. Hey, my convert's not up yet. I probably shouldn't flare.
okay, that makes sense.
And
Okay.
it's nice because they're actually going to put the numbers in the corner too of the time.
Okay.
If
That's good to
you,
see.
if and only if you want it.
Well,
Well, you can
don't
take it off if you do.
Remember,
The numbers, that's something, it's nice to have built into the game now. I mean, it's been a feature that you can add in with third-party things for a while, but it's kind of nice to actually have it built into the game.
Yeah.
Finally. We've only been
All right.
asking for it forever.
This is something that's going to make a lot of people happy. The furnishing to summon the aesthetician. I can't say that freaking word.
Aesthetician? Jondeline?
Aesthetician. Yep. Will be
Everybody's most
added.
fabulous or favorite fabulous person in Eorzea?
Yep. So now you can summon him in your home.
I know our free company is going to have one the day it's released.
Right?
I'm sure.
They all love being fabulous.
Yep. The furnishing dye preview will be added so you can see what color that sofa is going to be once you buy it.
Cool.
Feature for selling items from retainers.
Nice.
Can sell
Your
directly
retainer
from
be-
retainer. No need to rent a shop.
Yeah, that's
It's
huge.
NPC. It's NPCing your stuff nice and easy.
Yep. So
Mhm.
so then when are we going to be able to craft from them? Huh?
That's
Please,
not how
we
that
know,
works.
we know.
Please, please.
Other
Please.
adjustments to UI. I don't know exactly what. I didn't put details.
That's fine. This,
Anyways.
the tombstone gear. Oh my God, the tombstone gear.
I mean, some of it was really cool.
The idea behind it, I
I've
love.
never been excited for tombstone gear, like the glamour of it before this, and I'm actually excited for it.
That ninja one looked really, really freaking cool.
Yeah, all of the. Is it going to be job based or is it going to be like striking, maiming, fending, aiming,
No idea.
healing?
I
Well,
guess we'll
if
have
it-
to wait and see.
If we're going by the last set of patches of 2.x series, you had the 2.0, the mythology gear that was job specific. Then you had soldier gear come after that. That was not, and the SOs were obviously not job specific. Job specific either. So
Well, SOs were job specific.
I'm sorry, not SOs. Poetics
Yeah.
were not job specific either. So chances are you're not going to have job specific gear here.
So that'll be nice. So then there's gonna be striking, mending, striking, fending, maiming, aiming, healing,
Scouting.
casting,
And scouting.
and scouting. Yep, because there's gonna be a separate one for the ninja, but we're gonna share accessories, of course.
Mm-hmm. New housing items. A gelato tower.
I
They
want
said
some
it
ice
was a
cream.
nod- Nope, not that kind of gelato. The kind you find in a Carthus Western.
Oh, it's a nod to the slime tower, huh?
Yep, to the slime tower. There was like a suit of armor. I don't know.
That was Faust. It was Faust
That was
senpai.
Faust? That was Faust.
That was
Oh,
Faust senpai.
well, crap. You can get a big T-Rex diorama for your front yard,
There you go. And now here's the most important one coming up, right? This is this last thing we're going to talk
guys.
about.
Yes, guys, this is not a drill. This
Not a
is
drill.
serious. Guys, pay attention if you're not. Tune in. Listen to my voice right now. Hildebrand is back in 3.2.
Oh man,
Woo!
I think I have an idea of where he might be coming from quest-wise.
No, I'm just so excited.
He's
for him to
the
be back.
secret fourth member of the Warring Triad.
Damn it, Sarah. How do you know these things?
I
He is
have
our
powers.
librarian.
I
Of
have
course.
powers. So many powers.
All right. Wow, that went a
Alright.
long time, guys.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, a few more things. After that, they talked about the lore, which we'll get into a little bit later. They are saying an English lore book promised by Koji by FanFest.
Yay.
And with
Um,
that was the live letter.
well, actually, can I interrupt for 1 second?
Okay,
Because
1
this
second.
This was not in the live letter itself, but it was kind of inferred from footage from the live letter. As far as we know, Black Mages everywhere rejoice. Astral Fire, and Emerald Ice buffs will be increased from 10 seconds to 12.
Yeah, because you saw that as Yoshi was working on something, right?
You could see that when he was working on that training dummy. Any Black Mages out there that have a keen eye for it.
Who knew that 2 seconds could make such a difference?
It makes such a difference.
Just ask Seo's wife.
Da, 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 da.
Hey.
I'll be here all night, folks. All right. So, what did you guys think of all that? Let us know. What are you excited for coming up in 3.2? Email us, podcast at phoenixdownradio.com. Send us a Twitter message at phxdnradio. Shoot over to our website, phoenixdownradio.com, and let us know what you think. So now, this is the time of the show when we're going to try and get you guys involved with this. We want to try and get some of you guys to kind of help us with our discussion topic today. We are going to talk about some of our favorite things in the game. Now, if you want to join us, below the stream, you're going to see that Discord link. You can click on that. It's going to open up a web page. And in that, you'll just have to put in your name, and it'll drop you into our lobby chat. We've got a couple people waiting up there now, so we'll try and get them involved as we get kind of into this. This is new to us, so forgive us if we screw it up really bad. We wanted to do this for a while, but we figured this is probably the best way for us to bring it in, a way to discuss the things that we love about this game. So if you want to join in, go ahead and click on Discord. And then in the lobby chat room, you should be able to go ahead and type in what you want to talk about in the chat. And then we'll once we figure out who wants to come in next, we'll drag you down to our show channel, and then we'll be able to talk with you. So here we go.
We're going to drag you down to hell with us.
Exactly.
Wasn't that a line from the Titan song?
Shh.
Under the weight. Oh, never mind. So, like I said, we're going to be discussing, something a little bit happier today. Over the past few weeks, there has been a lot of saltiness in this community over different aspects of the game. From lack of endgame raids, to poor incentivization, to just plain unwanted content. Verminion. But that doesn't mean that we still don't love this game. I mean, hell, we wouldn't be doing this show or playing the game all the time if we didn't. So, we all thought we should take some time to go over some of the things that we really, really enjoy about this game. Some of the things that keep us signing in day after day. The things that keep us throwing our $15 a month at Yoshi P and the crew. And we want you guys, like I said, come into Discord and talk with us about that. For those listening on the podcast that didn't get the chance to join us here at Twitch TV/Phoenix Down Radio, send us an email and let us know what you think. And so for right now, let's go ahead and get this discussion going about the things that we like about this game. So really, when I think about it, there's so many little things in this game that just give it a feeling of a live, interactive world. When we get patch updates, the different parts of the world would change. You go into Mordona and it would go from just this little camp and something new would be building up. And then the next patch it would be a little bit bigger. And then we're going to move from the tent to the back. And then all this, it was a constantly changing world. And just how it interacted was really, really cool. So, I mean, that's one of the reasons that I keep going at it. What about you guys?
I have to agree with you on that one specifically because I gotta say, man, the day that I logged into 2.1 and Mordona went from a little tent city to the Revenant's Toll that we know now, basically, it got its own music track. You actually had like city walls, and you had like just nice like buildings popping up everywhere. That bar, it was just a nice little like surprise. You would never see that in 11 or any older MMO really, without phasing technology.
It was really nice to sort of see, hey, like we're actually making a difference. They're settling the wilderness. That's pretty great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I just love seeing how this game progresses and moves forward as the story moves forward. I mean, look at what Idleshire's becoming. That's a great example of that.
Yeah, they've got their scaffolding up.
Mm-hmm.
Has Idleshire actually changed since 3.0?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's been updating. They put in new stairs. They're not the greatest looking stairs, but they are new stairs.
Well, I
They're
mean,
new stairs.
This is rough construction by craftsmen who are probably having to have stuff shipped in from far away or make do with what they can in the wild. Like
No,
it does kind of have that rough construction look to it.
If we could get rid of all of that rubble and debris on the tombstone terrace thingy, that'd be great.
I mean, there's definitely a lot of NPCs who are kind of like pulling at it, trying to lift it, and like so. It seems like that is what they're moving towards.
Exactly. I mean, that one guy's, he's been lifting that poor rock since 3.0, but I mean, they're trying.
He's going to do something terrible to his back.
Yeah. Well, speaking of doing terrible things to your back, sorry, bad segue here. We're going to bring Chili down. Chili, our favorite person here, who's been very kind in helping us out. Let's see if we can get him unmuted here. Chili, how are you doing? Welcome to the Phoenix Down Radio.
Thank you.
All right, you're our first guest. How does that make you feel?
Kind of nervous, but
Dude, you've got a really successful podcast over there at PlayStation Unchained over in the UK.
Yeah.
You do really well on that. And actually, I got to listen to your last episode, your birthday episode, actually.
Yeah, that was an interesting episode.
Yeah, it was actually quite interesting. So, what is your favorite thing in the game?
I want to say my main focus is I do enjoy just jumping into people's party finders and finding out when people need help and stuff like that. That's my main focus, that and dungeons.
So you're one of those helpful people, huh? Those people we've heard so much about.
Yeah, sometimes I do it to gloat though.
I feel like this game does make it a bit easier to be like, oh hey, there's someone looking for help. If you're just feeling like, hey, I want to make someone's day, it's a lot easier to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It really is.
I personally love doing that too. Like just jumping into a pony farm saying, hey, I already have all my ponies, but I'm more than happy to help you guys get yours.
It's like, I'm bored. I wanted tombstones. Let's do this.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's those types of things, it's when the community can actually come together as a community and do stuff like that. That's where I think we're really going to, where if we can get more people like that, the mentor system could actually be something good.
Yep. It's going to be Senpai Chili.
Yay!
Senpai Chili over on Ultros. Is that where it is?
Yeah, on Ultros.
Yay, I remembered for once.
Yay!
I mean, you've only donated how much to our show, and I couldn't ever get your server right. I can't spell your name right.
Hey,
Man.
giving us
How rude, Klaus.
giving us money doesn't mean we care about you.
I keep thinking there's an extra I in your name, Chili. I don't know why.
Klaus is a bad. He should feel bad.
It's fine.
But was there anything else that you wanted? What other types of things do you really enjoy about this game?
Well, I just enjoy all the extra. I like the Chocobo racing. I like what they add. I just like everything about it, to be honest.
We got
That's
into
what-
Chocobo racing now too. Finally,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You've been getting really into it.
yeah, we finally got our G2s.
Oh, nice. Nice work.
I'm about 5 levels from my G2. I need to finish that up tonight after the show, I think.
It's been kind of fun.
Can
Yeah,
we bring our chocobos together? Because I've got a G2 with a pretty decent, or I think G3 now with a pretty decent pedigree.
Oh, aren't you special, Sarah?
I'm offering to let it have sex with your chocobo.
Thank you, Sarah. How nice of you.
Is that what you call a humble brag? No, I'm kidding.
Well, they
No,
did talk
my
about
Chocobo-
adding. They did talk about adding as a feature, like when Chocobo Racing came out. Like they said, "Oh, it'll be in the next patch," and then it just kind of disappeared and never got added.
Well, there's no interaction with Chocobo Racing, really. So, I mean, anything to, make that not dead would
Yeah,
be a good thing.
because
Yeah.
the way we make it fun is we all get into voice, and then we all yell at each other, call each other stupid names as we're beating each other, and yeah, it's a great time. That's basically how all of our content goes, though. It doesn't matter if it's Diadem.
Yeah, we all
if-
kind of just call each other dumbass.
Yeah,
We're usually drinking when we Chocobo race.
you're maybe drinking,
I know
Drinking
Roko was
water.
last time we did.
but when aren't you drinking though?
When I'm working, which is most of the week.
Nicknar, yeah, basically treat it like Mario Kart.
Pretty much.
Except for when that person who gets that stupid meteor. I want
yeah,
I want
I
to
hate-
find that person and I want to smack them.
It's
So, pretty
usually
much
one of
the-
the NPCs.
The meteor's the equivalent of the blue shell. Got it.
Exactly.
Mhm.
You want to give any
Ah.
shout outs, Chili?
I guess to Evolved Male. I'll give a shout out to Evolved Male.
Ah,
Oh,
the
yeah,
rage boner
Samus.
himself, huh?
Yeah, Samus Royd Banner.
Samus is a very good guy. I actually heard him out on he was out in Gather Together's last episode. Yeah, they did a very good show, and I listened to those guys talk about it. He's definitely a good guy to throw a shout out to. Another person who's going to be a great mentor in this system. So,
Oh yeah, definitely.
well, thank you, Chili, so much for stopping by. We appreciate your input, and we appreciate your support more than anything. So,
Well, thank
Yes,
you for
thank
having
you,
me
Chili. We love you so much.
all right,
Thank
we're
you,
gonna
Chili.
we're going
Lot
to send you
of power.
we're going to send you back up to the lobby again. Thank you for stopping by. Wow, that worked better than I anticipated.
much better.
All
That
right.
went better than expected.
Exactly. I had to unmute him, but it worked. So if you want to be the next person to join us on in the discussion here, just let us know in the lobby chat of Discord. Make sure you signed into the lobby voice channel, and then we'll bring you down. Let us know what you want to talk about. Lenali, it looks like you may want to come down in, so we're gonna go ahead and bring you down. We're gonna go ahead and unmute you. Maybe not. Lenali, you're going to want to make sure to check the mic mute button next to your name.
Sorry about that. I had the Twitch stream and Discord going at the same time, so when you pulled me into the channel, I sort of heard you talking twice, and it was throwing me off for a
Oh
minute.
no.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
this is why I pretty much don't run the Twitch stream anymore. It ends up giving me a weird echo effect, and I just get so confused, more than usual.
well, anyway,
I
welcome.
run if I mute everything.
Welcome to the show, Lenalia. What would you like to talk about? What's your favorite thing in the game? Are you still with us?
Think he might still be on the Twitch stream.
About that.
All right.
Would you mind if I came up on camera while I talk to you guys?
Are you sure? If you want to jump on the
Lenalia's
screen?
one of those people dancing in the background.
By all means, come and join us on the camera. That's perfectly fine.
Yo. Ooh.
Very pretty glamorous. Very nice. Oh, you want
no,
to face
no,
the other
no,
way,
the
though.
wrong
Other side.
There you go.
There we go.
So,
Thank you, y'all.
welcome to the show.
Thank you.
What's your favorite thing in the game? Or one of your favorite things?
Yeah, there are two things that I really love about this. First, I love that it's the most story-focused MMO I've ever played.
Very true.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've played a few MMOs, and it's sort of like yeah, you're nominally the hero, and you're nominally going around and doing these things, but it mostly feels like fetch quests, and you never feel that there's like a strong story. And FF14 especially does a really good job of like giving you a story, making you actually feel like you're the special hero instead of someone running around on a bunch of fetch quests, etc., etc. And I just love that.
Yeah, I want to add in because I was thinking about this. I really love how they're not afraid also to mess with that a little bit. One of my favorite moments recently was at the end of the original Thordan fight, where he's looking up at you and he's like, "What are you?" And it's like, that's a good question. We're doing stuff that's kind of typical for an RPG hero, but it's like, it's actually kind of weird and messed up when you think about it. It's like, normal people don't do this.
Right? But then
It's
again,
kind of a legitimate question to ask, not just who are you, but what are you? There's something wrong with us.
since when have we ever been normal, though?
Like, even more so than usual. This is like not garden variety weird.
True.
And I like that really like that they're willing to do that with the story, that they're willing to actually take a look at it and say not just, oh, what's a standard heroic story or what would be a cool whatever, but it's like, what would a world that had these kind of people be like?
You're almost
I know.
borderline superhero at that point, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's that's really cool that we got the storyline and we're actually it's the weird part about it is you've got everybody else as a warrior of light too, right? But
They're just
No, I'm the warrior of light.
One of us is the warrior of light, and everyone else is just random adventurers who are like, hey, adventuring's a thing. We can do that for money. That's why all the people. I always figured all the people that come along with you on trials. It's like, yeah, I dropped by the tavern and grabbed 7 people who didn't really care if they died.
You're so nice there, Sarah.
Well, I mean, they're going up against, like, say, a primal that's killed legion upon legion of people, the whole company of heroes with its 2% success rate. They either are suicidal or, like, just terminally stupid.
But yes, Nick. Now remember, we are primals,
We are all primals.
Uh...
and we play primal songs.
Oh god.
Oh god.
I'm gonna have to get out of voice chat before you guys start singing primal songs.
We've
I'll
already
be
been doing
good.
that. Haven't you been listening?
I'll be good.
Do you want to give any shout outs?
Yeah, I don't think she listens, but Seon Salhar on Hyperion made this lovely outfit for me, so I just want to say hi and thanks, and I love this outfit.
It's very pretty, and maybe we'll have to pass it on, get them to become a listener, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll yell at her. It's a mutual friend of ours, so...
So, Sarah, why haven't you made this person listen? Come on.
Yes, hair.
It's
She
all
does
on
what
you.
she wants. I'm a little scared of her.
We're all a little scared of her.
Linalia, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to go ahead and drop you back up in the lobby chat. So we've had 2 successful ones. Very happy. Awesome.
Yeah.
All
If you
right.
don't mind, I'd like to say what I kind of love about the game. in
Please
general.
do.
Well, as we know, there are so many things about this game to love. From the amazing storyline to the awesome and memorable side quests. I mean, we all love Hildebrand.
Right?
How can you not?
You don't have a soul if you don't.
Exactly.
I may know someone who's soulless.
Are they redheaded?
No.
Okay.
But in general, it's just hard to pick a few select things. This game is so immersive and it pays so much attention to the tiniest details in so many aspects. It's astounding. When it rains, you get wet. I
Yeah.
know. Just bear with me. Bear with me. When you are in the water, you get wet. Even if you're only halfway in the water, that part of you gets wet.
You also
it's fog-
splash around.
I know.
Dude, and when you get out of the rain, it slowly dries off.
Exactly. And when fog acts as fog does. And the fact that you blink and the fact that you don't hold still. Like in most games, you go idle, you don't move. But this game, I mean, you can see Seo's wiggling his legs
Well,
around.
you could for a bit there. I can adjust here in a little bit. There we
Yeah.
go.
You can see how
And
me,
not only-
Klaus and Sarah are breathing.
And not only are his legs wiggling, his arms are moving to kind of keep him counterbalanced. Like, there's some goddamn
He's
fine attention to detail
He's
there.
like one of those tippy birds into the water.
Yeah,
Seriously,
It-
Sayo,
Those are actually in the game too.
Yep.
it's true.
it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. And even after a year of playing this game, I still have shit to do, which is amazing. Like, I've been leveling my crafters up to 50 this past week. There's still so much things to do. I've still never raided. I still have oh my god, I still have the what side quest just came out in the last patch, the
Oh, the
The
Scholastica?
Elasticate. Yeah, I still have to do that. I
Yeah.
have to beat Ravana hard mode still. And
We'll get you there. I swear to God, we'll get you there.
eventually.
Take me on that too.
Yeah.
I just cleared finding the final coil for the first time a couple
I
weeks
still have
ago.
to do coil.
We should do coil.
We should.
And it's just, with all this happening, you are the center of attention. You are the hero. You are the badass who saves this land. And it just, that's one major thing that I love about this game, to put it in a general sense.
And even when they do give the hero a fetch quest, like, yeah, we know that there's better things you could be accomplishing, but someone needs to do it, so suck it up. Like, they acknowledge that, hey, you're this amazing person.
But we still need to get that coffee.
Well,
Yeah.
work still got to get done.
Well, it's more like Rowena when she sees, oh, they sent you here. Why did they send you here?
That was funny.
Hmm.
It's funny that they actually acknowledge that, yeah, you're really important, but it's funny.
It's
Sarah,
very self-aware.
Mm.
Yes.
why don't you go ahead and talk about your kind of overall favorite thing, and before we get into some specifics.
So, I mean, like, I feel like a lot of what's been said is the type of things that I really love, so I don't just want to be going me too about everything. But I don't know, I really love a lot of the little details and a number of random NPCs, not even the ones you can necessarily talk to, but just have their own little side comments going on. The stuff that indicates that there's all these little side stories going on behind you. That one's Arcanist who can never find her carbuncle. Kind of like you've got these little stories going on, these little bits of humor that play with it, but it does feel like while you are the hero, while you are the warrior of light, there is all this other stuff going on in the background. NPCs move around from one place to another. They change what they're saying. I've really loved that between major story events, you can go and you can talk to lots of major NPCs, and they'll have stuff that changes. That they'll make reference to what you've been doing in the interim if you talk to the crafters. I love that you can go talk to Giva at the Leatherworkers Guild, and she'll be like, dude, why aren't you wearing your leatherworking stuff? Have you been going around moonlighting at the other guilds? And that she will then offer to helpfully tan your rear and carve the precepts of leatherworking on them if you dare ask her another stupid question like that again.
Yeah,
It's like it feels like that. It really does feel like there's actual other personalities going on here. That while you are kind of the center of attention, while you are the big important one, there's other people with their other important stuff, and it's like there's an actual world to interact with.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Yes,
I
there's a
still
lot of
feel
but go ahead. Sorry.
I still feel so bad for that one guy. So by Upkalu Falls in Gridania to the northwest, there's a guy sitting there. Back in 1.0, he was talking about being an actor and performing with the others and some stuff with that. And ever since the Calamity, he's been kind of a broken shell because all of the other people in his troupe died in the Calamity. And it's like, hey, here's this other person. He's been through stuff. And you can't fix it for him. You can't go around and do all this. He's just there. The best you can do is maybe distract him a little bit with some triple triad. And I mean, it's like a little sad, but it's also kind of really beautiful and wonderful.
Yeah, like I said, it's a lot of the small things, the attention to detail, the way that they make the world alive and interactive. It's not just pretty scenery. I mean, we have a beautiful view behind us right now, but there's so much more to it. It's not just pretty graphics. It's a lot. It's the entire interaction that we get. It's the whole player experience. All right, so let's kind of get into some of the more specific kind of things. What's your guys' favorite moment from the game so far?
Oh, I already
Oh.
covered mine. I loved that moment where he's like, "What are you?" And that, like, just the fact that he was asking that question and thinking about, "Wait a minute, what am I?" That kind of shocked me to the core there. It was a great moment.
My favorite moment goes back to 2.0 when we were all pretty new. When we were working on Titan as a free company, you remember that? Yes, there was a lot of headbanging and a lot of oh my god, what's going on? But the fact that how hard we worked together to actually get that down. I mean, we were on Vent and we were calling out all the different things going on and how we all worked together on that. And then the moment we actually beat it was like, oh my god. I mean, it's like almost like, then later on when we finally got the same kind of moment we had when we beat Turn 5 for the first time. It's just those are the moments that when you're working with another group of people, a group of your friends especially, like I said, this is a full free company run we were doing this with, and getting past that really difficult progression piece of content and getting our relics for the first time.
There's kind of that beautiful moment of shock in the split second when someone finally lands the last blow and it gives a tombstone notice or it fades out to the cutscene or whatever. There's like just that moment of, oh my god, we did, like,
the screen goes
stunned
blank
moment.
and
And
duty
then
complete.
Vent or Discord or TeamSpeak just blows up completely.
you get that moment of silence, and it's like,
It's like a split second, but it is the most beautiful split second.
right? That it was my favorite moment in that game so far. It was just everybody getting to experience that together for the first time. What about you, Vox?
Well, I had to go back and look through old screenshots to figure out just one moment because I have so many moments that I love about this game that I had in this game. I mean, I got married in this game. I then got divorced in this game. Yes, it is possible. I made so many new friends, but this was back when I first joined the FC and you guys ran me through Coil. I don't remember what Coil it is. It's the one with the orbs and then
Oh,
you
that
kill
was
certain
actually
orbs.
the first turn.
That's
Wait,
the first turn?
Or
With
no,
the-
that was second turn.
Second turn.
Second
That's second
yep,
turn. Okay.
yep.
So yeah, we were running second turn and we got to the very, very last guy and a few
Oh,
people
yes.
had to AFK.
When-
And so everyone just started Mandervilling and we all got in synced. And that was amazing because you don't have the G pose back then.
No, we had to
Back
sync
in
it.
my day, we had to sync up our poses.
Oh, I remember that. Oh my god, that was
Don't you?
hilarious.
It was so much fun and it
Yeah, because
it
that
just
was
instilled a sense of community, of friendship that you have in this game. And I mean,
Yep.
a lot of my favorite moments consist of just sitting around doing goofy shit with random people. That's how I met most of my friends in here. That's how I'm in several different link shells because I just sit around, scream and shout chat, random whatevers, and I make friends that way. I interact with people, and it's amazing to me because all through high school, I was the shy person who never really did shit outside of my comfort zone or anything like that. And
I had to drag you out a lot too.
yeah, you had to literally drag me out. Oh my god.
But I did it with Chinese food.
Yes, you Chinese food. And what was that? Final Fantasy Advent Children?
Oh yes, when Advent Children first came out, I had to bribe you out to get out to because I picked up a copy of that for you in Eden Prairie or something like that.
Look, Fox, Advent Children, come play.
Let's
Oh,
go.
man.
Let's watch it on my MacBook.
Oh my god.
Oh
Yeah,
man, that
while
scene
eating
where they're
Chinese
all
food.
where they're all tossing him up towards Bahamut is still like the greatest, most hilarious
Mhm.
thing ever.
I'm getting feels, man.
The feels. That's what this episode's about. The feels and the happies.
This is our feels part. So,
This is our
Sayo,
cleansing.
as the newest member of Phoenix Down Radio, what is your favorite moment in this game?
You know, I have to say, like, if you ask me this question, it's gonna change like day to day. Like asking me what flavor of ice cream I like, but
Chocolate malted crunch, duh.
but I really enjoyed my first T9 kill. As some of you know, that fight's very, very choreographed and very, very precise. A lot like how Thornton is these days.
Mm-hmm.
And it has a lot of the same mechanics. So, like, learning that 9-minute, 10-minute, 11-minute fight without screwing anything up, and, you know, finally getting past that third phase of 2 dive bombs, and seeing Nail die, and, you know, finally clearing that, that was like a 2-3 month journey for me.
Yeah, see, I didn't get to experience that one because I had to quit raiding before I beat T9. Like I said, I didn't get my T9 clear until after we did it unsynced, and we did it in a whole 2.5 minutes before the servers
I've
went
never
down.
done T9.
Yeah, I would later go on to teach Skage and Riss back last April when they first gotten into level 50 rating. And that was another 3-week journey. That was pretty much just as epic, I would say.
But no, that whole thing rings very similar to, you know, just that first time when you are making that progression. It's like, wow, we did it. So I can definitely understand that. Lots of good moments been shared in this game, right?
Mhm,
Right.
a
Like,
lot.
what you really need to understand, especially if you don't raid too much, is that, like, those are 9, 10, 11-minute fights that perfect execution. One, slight 2% error means that you have to start all that over again. You've had, 3-4 hours since where you didn't make any progress. So it's very gratifying when everything actually does go right and nobody messes up and you get done.
Yeah, those are special moments to get those to really fall into place. So, Saya, what's your favorite mount? What would you say?
I like Midgard's armor. I actually want to take a second here and kind of break the fourth wall and bring him out if that's okay.
Okay.
Back it up.
Find him here. Back up the camera, class.
Okay.
Where is he at?
I really feel like this is going to ruin our brunch at the Flying Shark later. They're going to be like, "Are you the guys bringing around the dragon? We're not serving
Why
you."
do we have dragons here?
So I'm sure everybody had seen the Midgard tournament minion that I just had flying around.
You want to flip it around there, Sayo?
Yeah, you're kind of in a bush.
We good here?
You're good there. Yep.
And I'd say the reason is because he was such an integral part of the story, and having such a powerful lore figure just follow you around, like, hey, I actually have an interest in a mere mortal. That was kind of cool, especially having to take over the course of 2.5 and 3.0, having to actually gain his trust. That was kind of nice. Nice, refreshing. Hey, you aren't all that. You actually need to work for my trust for once.
And I appreciate that they can have something that's like, it is this big thing with all this lore around it that it feels like it would be really hard to have it, and to make it work while still being able to respect the lore of it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's pretty cool. And it's a pretty impressive mount as well, so everybody gets a chance to get one, so.
The attention to detail on this thing, I don't know how well you can see it on the screen, but it's just insane.
And you even have your bedroll on the back.
There we go. So for those who haven't seen it up close, there we go. Thank you for sharing that, Sayo. Why don't you go ahead and take your spot back on the bench? Sit down and warm that bench. Fox, what's yours?
Well, mine was kind of hard to choose. I like a lot of mounts in this game. I love the Ramu pony due to the music it plays. I love the Ramu music. If you didn't know, the Primal ponies play their respective music. I know people that don't know that, or new people. And plus, purple is best color.
Purple color is best color.
If you don't mind, I'm going to bring out one of my favorite mounts. It's not big. Don't worry. That's the minion list. That doesn't help me. I love this mount just because I had one in when I played WoW. But the only thing I don't like about it is the music. Oh, there goes my son too, by the way. Sorry.
Oh, it's all right. You'll have to just bring it back out, that's all.
Yep. But yeah. I mean, I love the Witch's Broom. It is one of my favorite mounts. I think it is sleek, stylish. I just don't like the music that really goes with it.
Well, it's because it's from the Halloween themes.
I know, but oh, there he is. Another one that I really like is the Fat Chocobo. Because why not?
Because, well, Sarah says Fat Chocobo is best Chocobo, right?
Yeah, right?
Oh my god, the Fat Chocobo jumping is proof that God exists and loves us and wants us to be happy. Just look at those legs pump. That is the most adorable thing ever.
Fat Chocobo is my spirit animal. And then the last one that I really love is the Griffin mount that you get from the Heaven's Word Collector's Edition. It just makes me feel like such a badass right in it, like I'm going into battle and So it's hard to choose just one for me.
Well, that's fine. And there are quite a few available, so I guess that's understandable.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah, why don't you go ahead and share yours?
Well, I mean, as I said, like Fat Chocobo is actually my favorite. Let's like the leg kick, pumping. Here, I guess, are we doing the thing? Are we all showing off the mounts?
If you
I can
want
do
to,
that.
I'm not going to just because it's going to screw up how I have to do everything. So
That's fine. But I mean,
Oh
check
my
out those
God.
legs pumping.
hold on a second. Let me back it up a little bit here. There we go.
Look at him.
We have a pair of Fat Chocobos going.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you'll get those greens, buddy. You'll get them. And then if you start him flying and your character, I just love you pull out the second fishing rod with the cake on it. There's like just this
Oh my
really humorous aspect to it.
Sarah, back him up.
And that music.
Backing him up is the most hilarious thing ever.
Yeah.
Don't back up too much.
Beep, 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 beep.
Beep.
Like just tilt the greens back a little. He's like, almost got it. Almost got it. You'll totally get them one of these days.
It's
Chocobo.
great.
Oh my gosh.
And I believe you get that in a Rome Reborn Collector's Edition, right?
No, I think
Yeah.
No, that
no.
one was the coral mount.
Yeah.
They later added the Fat Chocobo to the PS4 collector's edition,
Oh,
and
that's
then they
right.
retroactively gave it to everybody else.
That's
Okay.
right. That's right. All right. Well, let
And
me
ju-
see.
uh,
Go ahead.
the alternate music that plays with it is pretty great too.
Yeah, the Fat Chocobo music is pretty funny. I have to admit that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's see if it'll let me bring mine out. It looks like it does. Mine is the Kieran. Not because it's the prettiest looking. I mean, look at that face. It's got a face only a mother could love. But mainly because of the journey you go through to get it. I mean, it's one of those things where you have to have all 6 other primal ponies. And, you know, for a long time, it wasn't all that easy to do. You know, it wasn't just, you know, put up a pony farm and go. Like it is now. I mean, now ponies almost drop, you know, regularly, you know?
Oh dear, Grandpa
Mhm.
Klaus is about to rant.
Back in my day. Shush.
Back in my day,
But,
the ponies weren't easy to get.
I mean, granted, I didn't do most of my ponies until later on anyway, but still, you know, it was getting everybody together and going through all of those and getting all 6 ponies and working with a whole bunch of different people in the community and organizing this whole thing to do it. That's why I like Kieran so much, because of how much work we put into getting it.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, like I said, it made the community look like a good place. Granted, yeah, sure, there were a few people who got their pony and left, you know, F you, by the way. But, and also F you to Nightmare, because I've only seen one or two of those drop, and I didn't even get close to rolling high enough on it.
Oh my
But-
gosh, right?
But, I mean, it's, like I said, it was just a lot of work that went into it, and that's probably why that one's my favorite. I know we had few other favorites listed down on here, but let's just limit to a couple more. What's your guys' favorite boss battle in this game?
That's
I-
another hard question for me, but to give a general answer, any of the Hildebrand questline bosses.
So like Uncle Ulti and
Yep.
Typhon or Greg.
Yep. Yep, they are a breath of fresh air and overall goofiness, even down to the mechanics. I mean, what other battles are you going to turn into a damn green chicken?
Or a little imp
Or a
that has
little
to
imp.
shoot his little top off and do damage.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you shoot
Other
snot
than
bubbles.
Yeah, right? But other than that, I really like the Shiva fights as well. And Titan is also kind of fun, so.
Mine
Oh
has
my
to
god,
if I can go ahead and jump in, mine has
Go
to
ahead.
be Thoradin Extreme. Reason
Yeah,
for
I
it,
still haven't cleared that.
it's tough. But I like it because realistically, it's tough in the right ways. It's not just you know, a DPS check. It's not just, you know, you have to have all, you know, 100% perfection. It is a pretty tight fight, but you can still make mistakes and power through it. It was designed very well, so that it's just the right amount of challenge for a lot of people. And I really, and especially when you compare it to the story mode version, which was a face roll, I really like that they amped up the difficulty on it with, keeping a lot of the same mechanics in there, but actually giving them some good uses and making people like really work together again. So I mean, it's kind of like Titan Hard and EX in that phase, because it's a scripted fight for the most part, but how it all flows together once you get a good group of people, I really enjoy that.
Mm-hmm.
Sayo, you were saying?
I do like a lot of the classic Primal fights. Shiva has to be one of my favorites as well, because I just remember going in there a bunch of times, trying to get that pony when we weren't, unsynced or whatever, and we basically just had to go in raw and just dominating that fight so much that I could, carry people if I needed to. And you just felt like a rock star that whole time.
Well, the music is pretty awesome too.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Especially
definitely.
that second phase when it really just starts to rock out. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yep, that's why I love it.
I really do feel like for all the various trials and the like, even if there's particular tunes that you don't especially like as much, in general, there's lots of really good music for it, and it really does do a good job of setting the scene with that. My personal favorite actually is one because of the music. I really, really love the battle in the Big Keep, and I really love anytime I get to tank it. And part of it is I actually do really love that song, Battle on the Big Bridge from Final Fantasy V. And Battle in the Big Keep, I feel like in particular, does a really good job of kind of capturing that kind of frenetic feel, having these mechanics, Gilgamesh's attack evolving out more and more and becoming more and more complex. So it's kind of like this slowly ramping up thing, having the two stages with Enkidu and then Gilgamesh powering up. Just a lot of the really good elements there that give it this really fun, like exhilarating, active feel that really goes well with the music track that I love so much. And I just feel like those work so well together.
I also really like the fact that the first phase has the more classic Battle on the Big Bridge music.
Yeah,
the more 16-bit sound.
That's the actual recording from Final Fantasy V, yeah.
And then you get the redone version by Soken that you see on the Battle of the Big Bridge, and it
Man
just
is a
amps
freaking
up.
genius.
Oh, yes, that is one of my favorite redone pieces. It's really good music. I enjoy it too.
Very much looking forward to his redo of the Fierce Battle from FF6 with the Warring Triad.
I've heard that. I've heard good things coming from that. So I know we've been really running super long. Let's try and get another one or two things in here, maybe. Favorite song, Sarah, what's your favorite song?
Answers.
It's
No
very
questions
haunting.
about it.
Yep, same here.
Yeah. I mean, like, I remember back in 1.0 having that version, Dolomud Answers, this really cold, desolate feel to it. And I may mention that I did finally get to clear T13 the other day. And I really love that they actually took that song and they worked it in, and they actually had the various parts of it change and keyed to the fight. So you have this one.
Spoilers.
I won't get into this too much, but you have moments where particular attacks are charging up, and as they're building up, it switches to the parts of the song that have this kind of rising action to it, and all of it just worked really, really well together. Like, that song still gives me shivers. I'll give second place to Ravana's theme, which is just really, really fun to sing. I sing that at work all the time, and I mean, I do work in the kids department of a bookstore, so I have to
Okay, then.
I have to start mumbling during some of the lyrics bits, but it's just got this really good, powerful feel to it. And I love it's something that's actually doing a lot of bass in there. It makes it feel really, really powerful.
Okay, Sayo.
At the risk of being redundant, Oblivion, all the way.
Yeah, I can see that. Like I said, it's a good song.
Mm-hmm.
I have to go. See, I like the Chocobo music in this game. So my favorite song has to go to Gateway to Paradise. I mean, we did have it as our opener for a little while, like the first couple weeks.
Yeah.
That whole. I love that whole beat. That whole surfer music sound with it, and then you get the whole chocobo thing going with it. It was just so. I love that.
Oh,
then-
you.
Well, I mean, I love a lot of the music in this game. I mean, I also own all the OSTs.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I play them before the show, so we can kind of build up and listen to the music from 1.0, from 2.0, from 2.5, and kind of amp ourselves up. And I cannot wait until I get my Heavensward OST, so I can
4
throw
more
that into the
weeks.
mix. Exactly. I had that pre-ordered as soon as I could. So once I get that in the mix, we'll throw that on there too, and we'll be able to listen. And Chili, thank you again for another $5. Man,
Chili.
Woo.
Thank you.
you are
Thank
you are
you.
the awesome.
Chili.
I'm mentioning the 1.0 music. I really like that a lot of the stuff, a lot of those classic assets that they do make use of them. The fact that you have kind of like the classic Lenosha or Thanaland themes showing up in the openings to the various areas, all like the very first time you start the game.
$5 for 5 a.m. Chili says.
Not only that, but I think you actually have the original Inertia theme, leitmotif in Airport and Morbi as well.
The only song I wish they had was the Twilight Over Thanalan. I wish they still had that more in 2.0.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's
that-
one that again shows up briefly in the intro, but I mean, I know they used the stuff that used to be used for Hamlet Defense that came back as a dungeon tune, so maybe there's hope for it coming back if you just mentioned that's what you want.
I mean, there's so much good music out there. I mean, like I said, these are just some of the ones that we thought of as are the ones that we would listen to over and over and over again. But, you know, I love a lot of the music in this game because, you know, Soken and Nobuo, they just did such a good job on it. So,
Mm-hmm.
but we're getting some comments from the chat, Snapcaster saying he likes the T9 music, and then Ramu and Shiva as well.
Rise of the White Raven, such a good song.
Yeah, there's
Absolutely. Can't
a lot of
forget
epic
that.
stuff.
Yeah,
That-
there's a lot of good ones.
That actually is another one I sing around the bookstore. No one has ever asked what Imperium I am Avein, and I'm happy to keep it that way.
Right? Well, you know, we had a couple other things that maybe we wanted to talk about for favorites, but I think we had a good chance to kind of, you know, wax nostalgic about the things that we really enjoy about this game. And Vox, you look so glowing in the game right now. Kind of looking
I am
off
on
in the
fire.
distance and like, yeah, exactly. But, so, Sarah, do we want to talk a little bit about the lore that they discussed in the live letter this morning?
Sure. So I've got some notes here, which I did review a little bit earlier. I don't know. I felt like I didn't get as much hard-hitting stuff as I would have liked, but on the other hand, I suppose they like to save that for actually hitting us with it in the game.
Okay.
So
Before you
it's
go
pretty
on, Sarah, I just was kind of more actually curious if you wanted to do so, or if you thought maybe we were too pressed for time.
I'll keep it fast.
But anyway, what I want to talk about real quick, for everybody who's listening on the podcast, we want to hear what your favorites are as well. So like I said, get a hold of us, podcast at phoenixdownradio.com. Send us a tweet at phxdnradio, or, you know, check us out on Facebook or go to our website, phoenixdownradio.com. Sorry to interrupt you, Sarah. Please
It's fine.
continue with lore.
So they talked a little bit about,
Someone
first
else
off,
had
mentioning
to.
about the
Captain
patch
Nickner
naming the
84.
Gears of Change. This is yet another one of those titles where it's got a lot of different meanings.
Oh my God, Nick, not Chili donated. Oh, I love you guys. You guys are so. I'm sorry, Sarah, but that was too funny.
Oh, I didn't see what happened.
So Chili's donated 3 times today, $5, and now Nick Nar went in and donated as not Chili. He goes, someone else had to. Kappa.
Well done.
So bravo.
Way to maintain balance to
Bravo.
something or another.
Okay, please continue, Sarah.
Sure thing. So, they're mentioning the gears relating to Alexander. Of course, you've got the actual mechanical gears, but there's also the change that again is coming to Ishgard. We saw a lot of the opposition to that rising in the main scenario quest in 3.1. So, going to be building up with that. Also, they mentioned bringing back a bit more with Minfilia, finding out about what happened to her. what's been going on with all of that, which I'm kind of hopeful for because I've always felt like in a lot of ways Minfilia has been a little bit of a flat character. There was a lot of stuff that she did in 1.0 that those kinds of duties, the diplomatic type things, have been passed over to Alpha No. So sometimes I've wondered, what exactly is it you're doing here, lady?
Minfilia is not flat. I don't know if you've ever seen her character, but Baboom. You knew we were going there, man.
I knew
it.
we were
You
going
had to
there.
go there.
What we're trying to say is that she has boobs.
And that seems to be about it sometimes.
Yeah, please.
Though I will give her a shout out for being the first character sensible enough to change into warm clothing when she came up to Kurthus.
Very true.
Now, before we move on from that, can we take a minute to acknowledge why the hell would you drop that haphazardly in a one-off lore section with Koji? You would think that would be some sort of 3.2 big reveal that they're going to go for, but apparently not.
Well, they did show the artwork for the patch, and there was a female character in there, and that is Minfilia.
Right. But it is a good point that, hey, that's not something they would necessarily just relatively casually reveal like that. So that does make me wonder if there's going to be something even bigger that they haven't told us about yet.
Well, we've only seen just a brief glimpse of Ida and Papalimo.
Right.
There might be more with them, and where they're rumored to be. I'm not going to go any further.
It might also be that the situation with Minfilia is a bit more complex than we might initially think. I mean, having sort of the, hey, we run into Scion, we find out what they've been up to, they do something badass, we find out that there were repercussions for our whole little old escape. So, I mean, it might be that they're going to be doing something that's breaking out of that pattern in a really interesting way. That's what I'm hoping for.
I kind of have an idea of what they're going to do.
They're going to progress in the storyline.
Maybe. I kind of have this funny feeling that she's not really going to be on our side anymore.
Huh.
Oh, that's an interesting idea.
It's true. That's an interesting thought. Before I go too deeply into that, we have a little bit about they talked a little bit about the dungeons. They didn't really have very much about the lost city of Omnipore. They talked a little bit about the Antitower. This place where Charlayans are doing this research on the big mother crystal. So they have this sort of scholarly researchy name to it. They mentioned a little bit about how in Japan tends to be taken as sort of like this negative thing, and so they did it as the reverse tower. One of the things that came up during that was mentioning that the Final Fantasy series has only had a localization team for about 15 years. Keeping in mind that the actual Final Fantasy series, I believe, is somewhere around 30 years old now.
Would have just turned 28, I believe.
Yeah, so
about a month older than I am.
Yeah, it's coming up on 30. So for about half of its life, there wasn't really a localization team that was working to keep the naming of things consistent, making sure that there was this is one of the things that happens a lot when you have stuff that's called back to, that's referred to in previous ones. It got brought up the whole thing of whether he's Typhon or Chupon. I believe Final Fantasy VI, most of the translation was done by a single person who was a student of Japanese. So
Ted Woolsey.
I think he did the best with what he had. A lot of people tend to bag on him. I like to give him credit. I think he actually made the best of a difficult situation. But one of the results of that, of course, is that you don't necessarily have this consistency. And when you're going to this later one where you're trying to get this whole unified naming for things, how we want to refer to particular concepts or recurring mythical characters, well, we have to take into account that a lot of people grew up playing a version of the game where he was called this. And even if we say, oh no, Typhon is the correct one, there are a lot of people who were 10 years old struggling through to get to the floating continent and facing off against Chupon over and over. And so trying to deal even just with that balance to be able to make that reference and have it be received that way that they want can be a bit of a challenge.
Well, what Koji says is canon, and what he says goes.
But I think he does still try to be respectful for the audience's feelings on
No,
these
absolutely,
things.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even get me started though on the Tara versus Tina thing. I'm glad we don't even have to deal with that.
Yeah, not even touching that one. He talked a little bit about some of the various things where you have like puns or references in achievement titles, fate names, other things like that. The basic rule of thumb there being is that if it's something that your character would see, then they're going to try to keep it matching only stuff in Eorzea. So they're not going to have some character who's talking to your character drop in an all your baseline. But for something that
Except they do. You get a pot, and you get a pot. Everybody gets a pot.
well, yeah, but that is also something that someone might reasonably say. Like, but the one of the examples given was a fate called Feared Guardian Japanese. The one against, I believe, the Great Oak, just east of Fallgourd Float in the North Shroud, which
Mhm.
we get as Smells Like Tree Spirit.
Da-da-da.
And
Da-da-da-da-da.
yeah, great reference for us for an Eorzean. That line would make absolutely no sense. Why would you even say that? Just saying, oh, you get a pot, you get a pot. Okay, well, maybe someone's a little touched in the head, but they're at least speaking relatively normal. But so yeah, if they're going to make more of those like blatant homages, puns, things like that, they generally keep it to stuff that the player sees, but like our characters don't see fate names or achievement names or things like that. There's kind of a great moment in all of that, which has been getting image macros all over the place, where apparently Yoshi P was not aware of just how many puns Koji works into things.
Oh boy.
Oh my
uh, pretty hilarious moment there.
Yeah, that we'll have to link that on the webpage.
Oh yeah, we definitely will.
Is that in GIF format yet?
No, but it's in a long form JPEG that I linked in the chat
Mhm.
in Discord.
Yeah. Talked a little bit mentioning about the Garlean third eye. The description was it allows them to recognize surroundings more than other races. It's not clear what exactly that means, but it's mentioned that this is something that makes them really good handling airships or advanced arms. So it does seem like it is actually some kind of functional sense organ.
Could they maybe be able to see like aether flows a little more easily?
I'm a little doubtful of that, only because Garleans it said that like genetically they're just incapable with or severely hampered of actually working magic.
I mean, just because they can't, use it doesn't mean that they can't physically see it. I mean, flying in the skies there, you would think that maybe they'll see a lot of these currents a little bit easier to navigate much more efficiently.
I feel like it's more like, hey, flying in the sky, they're gonna notice, oh hey, there's a slight movement on the ground there, let's steer our carpet bombs over that way, kind of thing. Like the impression I get from the description is that it's not necessarily sensing a supernatural thing, but finer sensing of more mundane things. Though the language used was a little bit strange, so I'd definitely like to get some further clarification on that. Talking a little bit more about some stuff of other localization decisions, stuff like how they decide enemy attacks, the fact that the tempered are called drowned for Leviathan's tempered are called drowned, Odin's tempered are called sundered. In the Japanese one, that's not really a thing. They all get the same name, but we get the different ones because for us, tempered is a word that relates to fire. Tempering something you do to a sword or to other types of weapons to strengthen the metal in them. So that was one where they had to. That's again another part of localization where because they chose a word that has connotations in the English one, this meant that they had to come up with other ones for when fire wasn't related. Talking a little bit about the aura, which again we haven't necessarily had much in game just because they are relatively new and relatively alien. If the expansion had taken us to somewhere completely different, then we might have gotten a lot of aura flavor. But given that it's took us to Ishgard and a place that's traditionally closed off, there hasn't been as much opportunity to work that into the game. So it was a little nice to get some more information about the different clans. The hinting that there may be other clans besides the ones that we belong to. And talking a little bit about the fact that they worship a sun goddess that is not the 12, and pointing out that the 12 are a set of gods and goddesses that are only worshipped in Eorzea. So it'd be kind of interesting to see if we could get more information about other continents, maybe have some kind of comparative religions class. There was some implication that there might have been some relation between these other gods and the 12 long ago. So there may be like some original thing that was a common source for these myths. One may have grown out of another. Again, I'd save this for if we were going to do some kind of actual comparative religions class, but definitely a lot of interesting little elements there, both in terms of, hey, telling us a bit about this particular race, and in doing so, implying that there's more hidden depths to the world that we just hadn't really had the opportunity to consider. So, not as much in terms of big bombshells as I would have liked, but lots of fun little details that really fill out the edges there.
Yeah, I mean, there weren't a ton of questions that the user base got to ask of Koji. I think there was only 7 that they went through, but it's an interesting look into some of those things where it's like, I wonder how this came about, and what's that? The one thing that they talked about that we didn't actually cover was how many words they actually had to translate when going through patch 3.0.
Oh, yeah, that number was kind of obscene, given the number of people they had and the amount of, what was it, like, I just had the number here.
They said roughly 15 million words between 8 people in 2.5 months.
And just to give an idea of, hang on, I was totally pulling up a quick statistic on this. So the average number of words per page in your typical novel, a good rule of thumb is about 500 words per page. So 15 million at 500 per page, we're talking the equivalent of about 30,000 pages.
Ouch.
So say take the last Harry Potter book and then about 299 more of those, give or take.
Just a little bit of translating to do.
Yeah.
That's basically having to, each person has to translate, God, that's a couple books a day, isn't it?
Yeah, and I mean, when we were talking earlier about the fact that you have all these NPCs who will say different things, who change their commentary throughout, who are updating, that's what you get for that word count. To have people who can say that much, you need a lot of source material to work from. So it's this thing that we love, it definitely has a cost to it. And sometimes it can be easy to lose track of just how much time and effort has to be spent on it. To give it that level of detail, this is on some level a labor of love, to care that much.
And those of you who are skipping those cutscenes, you should feel ashamed of yourself.
I am attempting to kill you with my hate right now.
Don't skip the cutscenes, please.
I mean, this is probably one of the only games out there that really is story driven and focused on that. Experience the story once, at least once.
Especially for an MMO. I mean, I played WoW for a few years. I played Guild Wars for a few years. I don't remember any of the story from them.
I can also promise you that you will develop your vocabulary significantly. Like, people will be like, oh, wow, how'd you learn all those words? You sound so educated. Are you sure you wrote this paper? You wrote that paper.
Balls.
I still use any road in conversation all the time.
All right, so that was kind of that was Koji's lore segment from the live letter this morning. So
God, the man loves his puns so much.
Well, he just loves his job. I said, that's the kind of guy I don't think he's ever worked a day in his life because he loves his job that much. Mm-hmm. He's a lucky bastard to have a job that he loves that much.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, what did you guys think? Like I said, we ran really, really long this week. So,
wow.
Thank you, everybody who stuck around. This has probably been our best live audience. And let all your friends know if they didn't get a chance to come join us live at twitch.tv/Phoenix Down Radio. Let them know about the show. Send them to our website, phoenixdownradio.com. As soon as I get the podcast version of this up and ready to go, we're going to be posting that out there, and it'll be available for a direct listen to on the website, as well as then it's going to be going out to We're going to bring the video out to YouTube. We're going to have the podcast available on iTunes and Stitcher. We're probably going to get a SoundCloud eventually and get all everything uploaded out there. But for right now, we're just using RSS-based feeds. So, tell them about it. Let them know about it. Have them, check us out, see what they think. The more people we can get to really enjoy what we do, because what we're doing here is also a labor of love. We're not doing it for the money. We're not doing it for the fame. If we were, we'd be failing really badly. But
yeah, we don't get paid to do this. We do this because we love you guys and we love this game.
If we were getting paid, I would be working a whole lot bluer, because I'm pretty sure that gets the attention, doesn't it?
What?
The point is, I'd be swearing more. Like there'd be adult content.
Yeah, we are trying to keep it more PG, at least for now. We're trying to get everybody in.
We are keeping it cleaner than Koji does.
Yeah. All right. Again, thank you all for stopping in. For like I said, for those who want to check us out, we each have our own Twitter. Vox can be found at Luna_Vox. My personal Twitter is at Klaus_FFXIV. That's Klaus, KLAUSS_FFXIV. Our Master Librarian Sayre can be found at FFXIV Sayre, SEYRR. And our newest member of the team, Sayo, can be found at Sayo Mayo. Again, the Twitter account for the show is at Phoenix Down Radio. Our email address, podcast@phoenixdownradio.com. And our website, again, brand new, just for you guys, www.phoenixdownradio.com. So again, thank you so much for joining us. I had a blast tonight. I hope everybody had a great job checking us out. Guys, did you have fun with this one?
My throat's a little sore, but pretty good.
That's why I had extra tea.
Yeah, right.
I think it turned out pretty good.
I hope everybody said they had a good time with us, and we appreciate you stopping in again. For LunaVox, for Sarah Tomono, and for Sayo Mayo, I am Klaus Nightbringer, wishing you guys a wonderful evening. Take care.
Phoenix Down Radio is a production of PhoenixDownRadio.com and Illusion Productions. Final Fantasy XIV and Eorzea are trademarks of Square Enix. In-game content for Phoenix Down Radio is the copyright of Square Enix. Opening music for Phoenix Down Radio is provided by Guilty Gear Rock You. Check out the Metal Chocobo theme cover and many other music videos at youtube.com/Guilty Gear Rock You. Closing music for this episode is provided by Guitar Wanker 90. Please check out their full version of Matoya's Cave and other rock video game covers at youtube.com/Guitar Wanker 90. The views and opinions expressed in this episode are those of Phoenix Down Radio and its hosts and do not reflect the views of Square Enix.